But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
We got Chris Kyle.
How you doing?
Promoting American Sniper in bookstores and Amazon right now.
Pleasure.
So, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Just what a great story, man. Sniper, most lethal in U.S. military history. That's a hell of a title to have.
I got to thank the publicist for that.
Yeah, huh?
That's definitely, I was trying to get a different story out there, but that's the title.
Oh, were you?
I'm trying to show all the sacrifices that military members go through and then the families after we leave, what they have to go through and the sacrifices they make.
This is a better selling title, though. Nobody's going to buy, like, I mean, it's easier to sell this, and then you get to it in the book, because, like,
Right.
Sniper with a Heart probably wouldn't do as well as this Deadly Sniper.
Yeah, people just want to hear about. Well, the fact of the matter is, snipers. There's a great mystique around the sniper, especially lately. We've heard a few of the stories that have come out with the Somali pirates and stuff. Just these. The image of those snipers taking those shots at the pirates in the ship really gets people's fascination up about snipers.
Definitely.
And now, how did you get into it?
Well, when I went into the military as a new guy, my chief finally said, okay, if you want to go to sniper school, I will nominate you. At the time, you had to be nominated, and chief was willing to say, you're a good enough shot, I will send you to sniper school.
And you were a good enough shot because you had shot previously your whole life, pretty much, right?
Grown up with weapons, hunting my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
How long had you been a SEAL by that point?
It was a new guy, so I didn't go to be a sniper till I came back from my first deployment, which came back in 2003. So, in fact, when you come back from deployment, you get about a month off to where you can try to readjust back into civilian life and learn your way around. And I end up taking, instead of that month, I took about 2 weeks off so I could go straight into sniper school.
And what was it about sniper school and becoming a sniper that kind of fascinated you?
Well, I thought they had all the cool toys. They have the scoped rifles, and they got the really expensive guns. They're taking precision shots. I thought, wow, those guys are really good. You know, whatever they want to shoot, they're hitting.
Yeah.
What is the first time you shoot somebody? And this is such a civilian question, but I'm a civilian. What is it hard for you the first time you do it, or?
It definitely was. Especially my first shot was on a woman, and.
Yeah, fucking bitch.
Wow.
What was her problem?
No, she
supper cold?
Yeah, what game did she talk to her?
She was out in the town greeting the Marines during the invasion. As the Marines were coming into the city there, the people were coming out to, show their support for the Marines so the Marines wouldn't shoot them down. Let them know that, hey, we're not fighting you. You just go ahead and come right on in. Well, she came out into the crowd. She had a grenade on her. She pulled the pin and was walking to the Marines.
Whoa.
Now, how did you know to keep focus on her, or were you watching from a distance, or were you close?
I was close. I was in the city already.
Okay.
I was up in top of a building watching, trying to keep track of the crowd, and my job was anything that we could try to soften the target for the Marines, so less of them would have injuries, then that was our job.
So now what did you have to do before you took that shot?
I turned to my chief and I said, this is what she's got, this is what she's doing, and he kept saying, you got to take her out, you got to take her out.
What if she was just eating an apple?
Yeah, that's what we How did you know,
give her a bigger hole in her head to put the apple in?
What made you look at her out of the whole crowd and go, there's something weird about that?
Well, first of all, the grenade was the Chinese grenade. It's yellow in color. And just, when you're out there trying to watch, all of a sudden you see a color flash. It definitely draws your attention to it.
But why did they use yellow?
Yeah.
It's silly.
That's a little too obvious.
Place on ground, light fuse, get away.
Yeah.
It's kind of racist, too.
Oh, please. That is something. So I guess you have to be up on other weapons and what the threat could be that's coming up to some of the guys.
Well, I mean, you can tell too. It's not just the color, but once you the color is what drew my eye to it. But then once I started actually getting it in the scope, zooming in on it, and trying to really identify what she had, it was easy to tell that it has a fuse on it, and you can see the way she was holding it, what was in her hand, and. So I'm describing everything to my chief of what I see. And he says, that's a Chinese grenade.
So now the chief gives the order or gives you the permission to take the shot. And this is your first your first kill at all, or your first kill as a sniper?
No, I wasn't even a sniper. This was my first deployment. I was just on a sniper rifle.
Oh, okay.
And he told me I had to take the shot. So
Where'd you hit her head?
No, I always aim center mass. It was, unless, if you go for the head, it just leaves more area of error.
Right.
So try to shoot center mass. It leaves more room to be able to hit the target.
Double tap?
Well, it was just single shot. I mean, big enough caliber. It takes one round.
What were you using?
It was a 300 Win Mag.
Oh, my God.
And you were proven right. She had a grenade, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. As soon as I shot her, she went down. The grenade went off.
Her iPod fell out of her hand. She had a grenade case on it.
Just trying to be hip. She was a hipster.
It's just got out of Amazon. It's a cool new grenade
Bobby.
case.
Yes.
Have you ever played, I mean, this is a stupid question, but have you ever played Call of Duty in those video games and been a sniper and just sucked?
Oh, yes. What pisses us off, we go overseas on the deployments or whatever, and we could link up to play online.
Right.
And then you got the headset on and everything.
Yep.
And you're playing a 12-year-old kid stateside.
See, this is the same thing.
And he is talking mad crap. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, you have no idea.
I knew it.
That's hilarious. I knew it. Oh, those little bastards all the time. We knew it.
Suck! You couldn't hit fucking shit.
I nailed you. Really? Did you?
Did you? I just killed 150 guys for real, you shit dick.
But if you say I'm a real sniper, they'd be like, no, you're not. Fuck you, faggot. They would never believe you anyway.
Oh, no, not at all.
That's hilarious.
They'd be like, I wish you're a real sniper in this game because you suck. That's funny, man.
Can I ask you what you did after the kill? The moment you did it, what feeling did you have? Like after you realized, like, wow, I've done this. You knew you had to.
It's more surreal. First of all, it seems like it took forever for me to actually pull the trigger and take that shot because you're running through your mind, okay, can I actually, within myself, kill someone? And then not just that, but is the government going to stand behind me and not put me on trial for murder,
right?
Especially with it being a woman. I mean, it definitely changes it up. When you go to war, you're thinking, I'm going to kill the enemy army. Well, there's not an army that's fighting us, and now there's a woman. So,
God, that shouldn't be something that a guy has to think about that's in that situation. It's so odd that you have to think about your own freedom at that point. And if you take this shot, and then the repercussions if you decide not to, and she, sets that grenade off and kills some guys, now you got to live with that. So,
spot to be
if somebody ever invaded America, my mom would walk out with a grenade.
Oh, of course.
Take fucking,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mom would be the one
her
with the
fucking
grenade.
lasagna. Nothing? Ooh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Food joke? Yeah,
We're all assuming, was that the first time you killed somebody?
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Wow.
Did you have?
Wow.
And the implications if you miss is that soldiers are going to be killed.
Yep.
Were there any times when you were shooting where you missed?
Definitely.
And something happened that you were trying to prevent?
Wind.
Oh, definitely. The wind, anything. You jerk the trigger, you throw the shot. I have been lucky in a lot of my shots as far as making a lot, but I am by far not the greatest shot, not the greatest sniper. I just happen to be in the right place at the right time and been in a lot of different actions.
Because we were in Iraq, we did a comedy show, and they had to put these barriers behind the stage because over the wall they had snipers looking at us.
Right.
And they brought me on a roof with the guys like you, snipers, and they let me look through the scope looking back at them. And you guys sometimes just look at each other, and don't fire. You have to wait till they fire on you till you can take them out sometimes, right?
It depends on the rules of engagement, the ROEs at the time. Now, there are times that every time I was out there, if someone was looking at me through a sniper rifle, I was allowed to take the shot.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems pretty threatening.
Yes.
Right there. Boy, that's the ultimate heckle there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You better be on.
So you went through deployment once and you wanted to be a SEAL. What made you want to be a SEAL, which is so much harder training than...
Well, I went in to be a SEAL.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you did. And then you a sniper on your second run through.
I mean, we've heard about the Navy SEALs over the years. I mean, the training, most guys drop out, right? What's the percentage again?
Well, I went through, it was about 250 started and 24 of us graduated.
It's 10%.
Yeah, that's
10%.
That's insane.
90% of really tough guys are saying, fuck
In
this.
shape guys.
In shape, thinking they could do it.
I've watched documentaries on the training and sat there and literally, as I'm watching, just going, I'm just exhausted watching it.
Why are you putting
stupid-
sand in your pants? That's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but-
Oh, that's all I think.
The logs, and they have to go in the water and lift it
yeah.
back up, and there's always that one weak guy in the middle. Just his
Like,
arms
you know,
are
he's
shaking.
washing out.
I will completely walk around a puddle on the street now. I hate the water.
That's it, man, right?
Was there a point where you wanted to quit when you were going through that training?
Oh, definitely. If they would have brought the bell to me, I was just too lazy to get up and go to the bell.
Ring it.
I
They had
mean,
an app, a bell app.
Dang, I'm out.
they could get a lot of quitters if they put that bell by your bed. That way, when you wake up, you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna have coffee this morning.
Yeah. What is it? An hour a night? Is that Hell Week where you sleep for an hour a night?
Oh
For the week?
no. During Hell Week, we had 2 hours throughout the week, and
sleep?
it was two separate nights where we were allowed to actually get an hour that night.
Holy shit.
And it wasn't in a bed. I was sleeping underneath a boat in the sand.
Oh, man.
I don't get that. How do you like? They have these things where people stay up for days. I mean, is that something you have to teach your body to do? I mean, I can stay up for maybe 24 hours and then I'm done.
No, it was fear. I mean, you were scared to death of those instructors.
Really?
But they keep you constantly active. You're always having an activity. We played soccer at one point. When you get so far into it, then they start taking a lot of the physical to where you could actually hurt yourself. They start taking that away and just keep you going as far as, all right, we're going to do runs, push-ups. You're going to go play soccer and just keeping activities going.
Do they give you a hug?
I can imagine that.
A little
you-
hug just to keep you going.
Yeah, like we really like you deep down.
right deep down.
If you quit, you can have all the hugs you want.
What is the one thing that knocks most of the guys out? Is there one activity or one out of the 90%?
Honestly, during Hell Week, you don't recognize when guys are quitting.
Wow.
You keep going, and then you realize, oh, so and so's not here anymore. You don't actually see it
wow,
because they
yeah.
keep you going, doing so much stuff that you don't see the guys when they just decide, I
Wow,
quit.
man.
And we hear about guys like the Team 6, like the quote unquote, that's the one that a lot of even the Navy SEALs have trouble going through on that type of a training. What's the difference between that training, I mean, what you're allowed to talk about, and what you guys do?
Basically, you've got all the other SEAL teams, and then SEAL Team 6, you're the best of the best. You go back through another BUDS, the boot camp again. It's geared a little different. It's not as much of a beat down now. They're trying to see, okay, are you really the best? Can you perform this way? And it's about another 6 months long to where they're testing you out.
How long? What's the longest you ever went in battle without sleeping? I mean, it's just you and you have another guy with you to when you're sniping to give you the range and all that stuff, right?
Well,
Or is it just you?
no, I didn't go out and just me. And usually when I went out, especially in the city,
Yeah.
you go out pretty heavily. So there's about 16 of us. I mean,
So it's not like Billy Zane where you're just you and some dude and just you're sitting out for 3 days and you kill the one El Capitan.
No.
And then run for your life to get the helicopter.
Insane.
So it's, you're just with the troop and it's just in the city. You're not sniping from 2,000 yards out, right?
No, I did that one time, but
Okay.
2100 was my farthest shot. But other than that, it's most of your shots are anywhere from 200 to 400 yards.
Really? Wow.
Wow. And what did you train on mostly? What kind of rifles?
Well, it all depends on with the mission. Before I'd go in, I'd look at overhead imagery, try to figure out what's the possible longest shot I could take.
Like the video game with the loadout. Like, yeah, all right, let me trade this. I'm going to grab this.
Hey,
Got the longest
on
shot.
Call of Duty, what sniper should I use? What rifle should I use?
Ask the 12-year-old.
Exactly.
Hey, I want to ask Chris about the numbers because the government won't confirm that you killed 255 people,
In the book, it says over 150.
over 150, but
Yes,
you
sir.
know it's more. You know your number.
I'm happy with 150.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need to have the. Is it harder for you as a person if the number's higher? Like it sounds cool to us because we're fucking nerds. But is it like the guy who actually did it? Do you go, no, 150's fine. I don't need 250.
No, I mean, I don't even care about the number. But as far as the record goes, I don't care because it's going to be beat. And I hope it gets beat soon. That way someone else will be in the limelight. But
Yeah.
But a lot of people say you killed up to 255 people,
I've seen that all over.
and he's smiling. So
What is a confirmed kill? Someone else has to see you do it, or how do they confirm a kill?
Well, every time I went out, because I wasn't alone, there were always guys there to see it and to actually witness it. Every time I would take a shot, I have to make notes of the time I took the shot, the distance the guy was, what he was doing, what he was wearing, what he was carrying.
Wow.
What I shot him with, the grain of the bullet, what the temperature
It's like an
was.
expense report.
Yeah. Wow, the business end.
You have to do that like right then, or do you have like? Can you wait till you're safe?
Well, usually
You
I
have to
had,
break out. Hang on one second. Hold that fire.
well, usually when I was taking my shots, there was an officer who was on the radio. That was his job during that time, was to be the radio watch to keep the base notified of what we were doing. He would take down the notes. When we'd get back is when we'd actually fill out the formal report.
Like cops.
Right.
What the fuck? Those cocksuckers just to run out in the street with a grenade, and we got to fill out reports
Yeah.
with the grain of the
This
fuck.
wee shit.
There's no way anyone.
I do it on Call of Duty. I protect the country.
Okay.
There's no way anyone would write you up for a speeding ticket at this point, right?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Out on base, you actually will get a
You
speeding
can't
ticket.
pull out a card like, "Look who I am."
No.
Yeah, right. Look who I am.
Yeah, you don't have like a gold bullet.
Well, you'd be
you can
surprised. I
pull.
mean, a lot of people view, especially other people in the military, SEALs with we have this huge ego and this bad attitude, and it's come from in the past. Guys have thought, you know what, I'm better than you are. So it's taken us a long
But
time.
you are better than me.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah.
Your facial hair connects. Everything about you, your accent, everything.
No, it took us a long time showing these guys, look, we're not better than you are. We're just trained differently, and we were more specialized in an area than you were. It doesn't make me any better. And we were working with the Army conventionals, showing them, hey, I'm here to help you.
God, you
We're
have to-
all on the same team.
You have to obey traffic laws. That sucks.
Did you ever have a problem with the ethical side of it, where it's when you boil it down, it's killing people, and I wonder how difficult that is for you, or was at some point, when you really think that semantics is one thing. That's okay, if I wasn't given permission to do what I did, I'd be what would be considered a mass murderer, really. And since I have been given permission from the government, I'm not. Yet it's the same end result. How do you deal with that internally?
Well, I never looked at it as I'm there killing people. I looked at it as I'm there saving people. My job was to make sure everybody I deployed with came home.
Right.
And all the allies, everyone surrounded me, my job's to protect them. I want everybody as much as possible to be able to come home.
And believe me, that's how I feel. I just brought that question up because these assholes
What
want to know.
I was thinking that Chris must think you're such a radical lefty panty.
I know.
Because
You
I
have no
listened to you
idea.
like, what? That's not
Believe
you.
me.
You have
Yeah.
no idea who just asked that question.
He has a
Chris.
50 cal.
I actually,
Like a real
I
one.
actually
He brushes
brought
his
one-
teeth with it.
I brought this for you to sign for me. It's
It's a 50 cal magazine.
50 cal mag out of the
Ant might have a few guns.
M107. I got it home. I got one of those. It's a pisser to shoot, isn't it?
Ant doesn't give out numbers, but he owns a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 4 and 2,000.
bunch.
I love them.
You guys should definitely hang out.
I actually wanted to ask you something about the Barrett. I know when I've fired this, the concussion off of it, I describe it as feeling like you have the flu for 3 seconds. It's a concussion, or feeling like you were just popped in the nose for like a second. How do you shoot this for as long as you do, and not just lose your mind? Because it's, in training, obviously, when you're out in the field, you're probably not shooting it that much.
Right. Out in the field, I never took the 50 cal out.
Oh, you didn't?
Now, it's big, it's heavy, the rounds weigh a lot. If I took a 338 Lapua, it weighs less, the rounds weigh less, and I can actually shoot farther and more accurate.
Oh, okay.
How big are those bullets? I don't know anything about guns compared to a 50 cal.
They're definitely smaller. Everything's smaller than a 50 cal.
Yeah. The 50 is crazy. So what would the 50 be optimum for?
Vehicle.
Vehicle, okay, yeah. Shooting through engines.
Actually, we started making, because they were saying the 50 cal sniper rifle should be used for vehicles, but anytime you shoot a vehicle, you're going to shoot it through the engine block. It's not going to automatically seize up and stop.
Right.
The best way to stop a vehicle is to shoot the driver.
The driver. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then it just veers off to the left or the right.
Hey, what about do you have numerical rankings in what you because I know very little. What was I was thinking about Lee Harvey Oswald and how people said he couldn't have made that shot, but he was actually a sharpshooter. He was actually a great shot. I don't think he was probably what you can do. How hard is that shot to make from what you know about it? The shot that
The Oswald shot?
on Kennedy.
Hey, it was, 100 yards, 200 yards? That's any military guy can take that shot.
It's not as impossible as they've made it seem over the years.
Well, I haven't examined the angles and everything else,
Right.
but no, for just the distance, which I think it's actually only 100 yards or less, that's an easy shot.
When you was there ever a time when you had to shoot somebody and you looked at them through the scope, and it was like, ugh, I don't want to do this one for whatever reason?
Definitely. I've passed on shots before. There's times to where you don't think it's the right thing to do, so you don't take the shot. I passed up a kid coming out to pick up an RPG. I know my rules of engagement said that I was supposed to kill this kid because it's a crew-served weapon, RPG, belt-fed machine gun, grenade, mortars. I'm supposed to kill the person carrying that. But at that point, I could not convince myself that this kid, knowing that he's going to take it back someone else to use against me, he's not the one that's going to use it. So I couldn't take that shot.
Hopefully you'll deal with the guy he hands it off to, and
hopefully we
get
him.
the better side of that deal. Yeah.
You said something fascinating in there. There's people walking around right now that have no idea that you passed up the shot.
I've passed up
That's
a bunch of
fucked
shots.
up.
They don't know how lucky they are to be alive.
They're just walking around right now having no idea that their head was or their body mass was in a scope.
There was also times
Holy
seeing a
shit.
person, knowing they're bad,
Right.
and because of my rules of engagement, witness them actually commit something that triggered me hot, but I couldn't take the shot because when I saw them again, they didn't have the weapon.
Which triggered me hot.
Do you use that in your
cleared hot? I was allowed to take the shot.
Do you
allowed
use
to
that
kill 'em.
in your regular life, joking around sexually when you get trigger me hot, baby, live action? You're just joking around.
Yeah.
You use any of that?
You're joking around. Yeah.
No, my wife is kind of sick of the military. I try to leave the lingo out.
Only non-military zeros do that. Military guys don't do that. They just fuck. We're the ones who want to sound like we're real men.
There's someone on the line.
I'm using trigger me hot.
There's someone on the line saying that you were in a bar fight with Jesse Ventura. Is that true?
God, probably is it?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Oh, let's get into this.
Yeah, I would
Do
like
you
to
talk
know.
about it
I was going to ask you how you felt about it.
because
Actually.
we I don't know how do you explain
There
that?
was a
a verbal
unpleasant-
altercation in here.
But he used to
between-
come on our show and it was all right. We didn't agree with a lot of the stuff he said, but we had an okay.
Thank
time
you
with him.
for your service.
But then we had a moment where
Right.
he walked off our show because we just killed him with knowledge.
Yeah,
we
had
really did.
a big argument.
Especially Jimmy.
We had a big argument. Yeah,
Jimmy does a good impression of him too.
and it was just uncomfortable, and he was whatever. I wanted to ask you how you felt about him as a SEAL, but if you had a bar fight, were you stressing the difference between when UDT or what happened?
No. I being UDT, I fully respect that. SEALs were born out of UDT, so I consider him. Yes, he's a SEAL. He's part of the family. I don't draw a distinction between them.
Okay.
What happened in the bar?
Yeah, what happened? You were in a bar and
Oh Jesus.
We had just come back from our 06 deployment when we lost our guys. We were having a wake for the guy who got the Medal of Honor, Mikey Mansour, and he happened to be there. He was coming in for a graduating buds class that he was going to speak to, and he was upset with the war. He doesn't agree with it, which is fine. You don't have to agree with the war. I just get sent there. I don't have to agree with politics. I signed up to serve the country. The country tells me what to do. Mm-hmm. He was making it known that he did not agree with it, and I approached him and said, hey,
It's not the place.
I appreciate it, but we are having a wake. It was the SEAL bar there in town. I said, we're having the wake here. The family's here. I would appreciate it if you just kind of keep it down. He told us that we were killing innocent people over there, men, women, children, that we were murderers. And I said, you know what? We can all have our differences. That's fine. But please just don't upset the family.
Yeah.
And then he said that, we deserve to lose a few guys.
Holy shit.
Jesse said that?
Yes.
The fuck is wrong with him?
So,
Piece
by
of
the way, all
crap.
you guys out there that attacked me because I fucking attacked him, good. I'm glad to hear that. He really is a douche. And what happened when he said that to you?
Did you grab his ponytail?
Nah,
You slugged him? Good.
I punched him.
I punched him.
Good for you.
Where'd you punch him?
Bravo.
in the face.
What happened?
That's when you take a headshot.
Well, I mean, Jesse Ventura, he's
A big man.
he's an older guy too.
Yeah, he's
And
an older
Of
guy.
course, all the guys then started making fun of me. So, what geriatric you gonna beat up today?
Yeah, of course.
Well, wait, when you hit him, did he hit you back or
No, he went down.
you? Oh,
Hey, what
Like
you
out?
gonna do?
Like
No,
was he
I
like?
don't think he was out. It definitely took him off balance. He went down, and
But the ref wasn't looking. They never are.
Did his walker fall with him?
I think he fell out of his wheelchair.
he's a big dude.
Wow,
man.
he
Yeah,
went
he's a big
down.
guy. You hit a big dude. He's still Jesse the Body. I mean, he's an older guy, but he's still a
Did he-
big, strong
but he
guy.
is
Man.
old.
Did he
Yeah.
awkwardly get up and have to walk out of the place?
I don't know. I took off running because the cops were already outside, and as soon as I hit him, I knew SEAL party, SEAL bar. Cops are watching. They saw the whole thing happen, so I took off running.
yeah.
So Jesse Ventura said to a SEAL in a bar where there was a wake for a SEAL, "You deserve to lose a few guys."
Yes, he did.
So
Repugnant.
you make me even happy because he and I got into a very, very nasty exchange. Because I was defending kind of action.
Al-Qaeda.
Yes, and I said, you know what? They're nice people, Jesse. No, I said that I kind of agreed with the Afghanistan action, and he was saying that I'm just a guy who didn't serve, who was for the war. And I'm like, but that's not where I'm coming from. I'm not saying fucks, just go out and fight. It wasn't at all. So we just got into an ugly thing, and it got personal. And
What an ass he
he's
is.
a douche, but he really hates my guts. So I'm so happy you did that because I'm not a man. Like I couldn't stand up and punch him. What happened was as we kept arguing, he patted me on the back hard, and I knew he was like as he was leaving, he's like, "Thanks for your service." But it was like one of those, and for me to match him, I would have had to pat it. And I'm like, I'm not going to do what you did. I wish I was him though. How great would that have been? Just to slug him. So I insulted him.
Yeah, I'm sure I just caught him off balance and he tripped.
Yeah, that must have been
maybe,
it.
yeah.
Sure.
Good for
that
you,
must
man.
have been it.
I'm
what
so
do you
happy.
What do you do? You still hunt?
I do. In
Yeah?
fact, over the holidays, I took my kids hunting.
Oh yeah, that's great. Did you? I'm sure the sniping has made you a better hunter. Does it take some of the challenge out of it?
No, I mean, I still miss deer. I mean, like
Yeah.
I said, I'm not the greatest shot in the world. I get lucky at times, but I still miss my deer at 200
Yeah.
yards at times.
Yeah, well, deer won't have a Chinese grenade in its little hoof. So
Does this when you what is this book? This book focuses on your entire life, or is it mostly about the military, or is it about your experiences over in Iraq?
It's mainly about my experiences in Iraq. It has some of my upbringing about being a cowboy for a living and then going into the military, but it's trying to concentrate on my relationship with my wife and the sacrifices that we went through as a couple, not just as SEAL, but any military member would go through.
Now you said you were a cowboy for a living before you went into the military.
Yes.
You were like a cattle rustler.
rustler.
Not a rustler, that's a hang in the fence.
Was that-
Sean Wayne. He
wait,
used to
is
go
that
across to
prop-
Mexico and steal cattle.
Is that proper terminology?
No, cattle rustlers
A
steal
cattle rustler is the guy that stole the
I
cattle.
didn't. I meant
Yeah.
a wrangler, not rustler. What do I know?
Wrangler. Why did you just use your hand to make a lasso?
Oh my God, Jimmy just made a lasso move.
Because
with
I was
his hand.
trying to.
Oh, you suck.
He's just trying to relate to the.
I was trying to show him that he's not the only one that is experienced with
Navy
cattle. Yeah, I did do that, by the way. And if you would have knocked my teeth out, nobody would have faulted you.
Oh
Why did
God.
you just lasso
The only
you?
weird part is when you were doing the lasso, you're moving your hips.
Yeah, because he wrestles cattle with a hula hoop on.
And I tied my shirt in a little knot like a prison girl.
Where were you brought up that you were doing that?
I brought up in Texas, born
Texas?
and raised there.
All right.
Definitely, we always had cattle and horses, and
Yeah.
was working on ranches all through high school. Went to college, kept working on ranches. After I quit college, I decided I want to be a cowboy for a living.
Wow. So you were on a horse from the time you were a kid, though.
Yes, I
Yeah.
started riding early age.
Look at this. See, we got a lot in common.
Yeah, you kind of
Except,
do.
I didn't make any commitment whatsoever to
And he-
anything except
He went off and acted
dumbass
like
show.
a man, and you pretended you were Popeye.
He's living with somebody his age.
Jesus
He doesn't
Christ.
have to do a big Christmas every year.
Chris, you're obviously out of the military, right?
Yes,
So what do you do for a living now? Because you're a young guy. How old are you?
37.
37. And have all this experience behind you. What do you do now?
Craft International is the name of the company that we're still providing training to the military. Trying
Oh, that's
to,
good. Yeah.
I can't be in the military anymore to save my marriage, so this is my way of still giving back, trying to prepare guys before they go overseas. And I mean, we're not claiming to have, hey, you come to ours and you're going to be 100% successful, but here's a tool for your toolbox. Maybe it'll come in handy when you're down there. And we also provide security. We do a lot of the anti-piracy stuff and personal protection here stateside.
What is your what's the most realistic, would you say, film that featured a sniper? Was it the Hurt Locker, or was it that scene in
Hurt
Full
Locker?
Metal Jacket? The military guys
Wait, you laugh
laugh
at the Hurt Locker scene? Because we thought that was amazing, that sniper
Is
scene.
that nonsense?
Wow, he's
You can see
laughing.
he's laughing. It's
Yeah, that's
obviously
nonsense.
I thought that was a great scene, though.
Well, for an EOD guy to actually be able to make a sniper shot.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, right? It's just a friggin' it's the bomb disposer
good
guy,
point. Good
and
fucking
he's
point.
like with the Barrett
That's
making
not his
making the
expertise.
shots.
What's a realistic sniper scene or film, or at least moment in the movie that you're like, wow, that's how it really was?
Honestly, I think most of them are all pretty Hollywood.
Oh, really?
If you want to take a shot and have a miss and then start cussing up a storm, trying to hurry up and load another round to make your shot, that's a little more realistic.
And how about the? They don't really depict the time spent waiting.
No, you'll sit there hours, maybe days. Maybe you'll go out and, just like hunting, you'll go out, sit there and not see a thing.
Nothing.
Turn around and come home.
Do you have to do calls like for deer and moose? Do you have to?
Bobby with his reasonable questions. You're an ass.
Bobby's a kid.
I am a fucking 2-year-old.
So wait, would you be in like in city situations?
Oh, definitely.
Oh wow, just laying there on a rooftop. Wait, what's the longest you waited?
Shoot. You know, you might be out there a week waiting just to see something. Depends on what's going on. We've had to set up overwatches. Maybe a tank just got blown up. We had to set up, watch it for a couple days before the wrecker came in to pick it up. There's not a wrecker on every corner to pick up a blown up tank.
Right. So you have to
should
guard
be.
it and make sure they don't take it,
Right.
and make sure they don't drag the bodies or whatever it is they do to.
Well, no, they already policed up the bodies. But it was just coming in to make sure the tank with all the armor and everything was intact, that they could take it away.
What do they do with all the stuff that we're out of Iraq? But what do they do with all that shit that they brought over there? Do they bring it all back? I mean,
We left
or do
our
they
sh-
just
a lot-
leave that shit?
We left a lot of shit behind, I would assume.
Well, yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'm assuming that we're going to bring most of it home. But I'm sure we're selling or giving some of it to the Iraqis.
I heard in Afghanistan there's a lot of stuff from the Russian invasion.
Yeah, they had to get out lickety split.
And Jonathan said when he was out there in the countryside, he goes, there's areas where there's just like gutted and rusted tanks, and they kind of leave that there as a source of pride because they chase the Russians out.
Yeah.
Really.
And did you ever meet a sniper on the other side? Like, you know, they have those Vietnam movies where the snipers will meet each other.
Yeah,
Like,
Bob's
you know,
asking if there was a sniper party you were
Did you
invited
ever
to.
meet a sniper? Like,
No, we never had a handshake or shared drinks. Or
you ever never met a sniper from another, like an enemy side?
No.
Like you guys met in like a tube and said, all right, tomorrow.
No, it's not
When,
quite that civilized.
Do they have Iraqi snipers? Because I know,
yes.
but they good? I mean, because you think of the Iraqi army as just shit because they just held up a fleet. You guys came in, they were like, okay, we give up. Were there any good Iraqi snipers?
Yeah, there's definitely some. There was one that we were facing in Fallujah who was supposed to have been on the Iraqi Olympic shooting team.
Oh, really?
And one of the guys on my unit that was out there actually got him.
Got him.
Have you taken out other snipers? There's always those scenes in the movies, and I know this is Hollywood, where you're looking through the scope and you see the scope looking right at you. Have you had that happen?
I've never looked and seen someone actually looking back at me, no.
But you have seen a guy peeking through the scope at
Definitely.
and seen the guy.
Definitely.
Wow.
And when you shoot somebody from that distance, what do you see? Like a little, just like a little. Poof, you just see like a little mist, or how much can you see?
I mean, it depends on the caliber you're shooting, too, because those rifles have recoil. You may not see anything. You may, by the time you reacquire your target, and he's already down.
Wow. There was a bounty on your head, someone's saying?
It wasn't just my head. It was all snipers. But, yes, I got picked out because of when we were going into houses, they were occupied houses, and they would see the tattoo on my arm. So it got
Oh, so they
pinpointed.
knew, who you were.
By the way, Chris received 3 silver stars and
2.
5. Oh, I'm sorry. It says 2. It says 3 here. Just we have very shoddy research.
Well, Jimmy's going to give you another one.
Yeah,
a
2 silver.
surprise.
Did you get 5 bronze stars, or is that wrong
Yes.
too? Okay.
Wow.
What merits a star? What do you do when they give? Is it a particular target you hit, or?
No, it's all the medals are supposed to be for heroism and stuff like that, but I don't put any stock in the medals. It all depends on the political aspect at the time. If they feel like, hey, we need to look good, so we're going to give out.
Oh.
I think they just threw my name in a hat and go, you know what, we're going to give him a silver today.
There's no medals you ever got that you're like, I like this one, I'm proud of?
I mean, they all have a little bit of pride in it, but if you were out there for the medals, then you're in the wrong place.
When you would take the shot and hit somebody, would you have to or want to go up and check them out up close? Or
You want to.
okay, you want to?
But a lot of times, especially in the city, you can't get out and expose yourself and go check that guy.
That's true.
I mean, you want to go down there and see what all they have on them. If there's any intelligence you can pull off of the body or anything that would help you down the line.
Personally, you would want to do that, not just the team you're with, but personally, would you want to go and see what damage you did?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, I was just curious as to how into the actual kill you would get.
No, it's pretty messy.
Yeah.
I don't care to go up and examine
that makes
it
sense.
that close.
How did you deal with being away from your wife and family for so long? Like, what was the longest you've been away from them?
8 or 9 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's the job. That's your way of life.
But you're out there a lot. You know, I mean, me and Jimmy went over there. I went over there a couple times, and there's guys that are on the base a lot and get to use they have a lot of. I mean, the bases in Iraq were, I thought it was going to suck, but they had Skype and great food, and it wasn't as bad as you think it would be. But you're not, in there all the time. You're out in some fucking house waiting for some douche to walk out with a grenade. So. How do you deal with I get homesick after a couple weeks being on the road. I couldn't imagine 9 months.
Jimmy's face.
I'm serious.
I know, I do know, but it was just funny watching you go through that process, and like
It's almost like watching you go through.
I wasn't sure if you were going to ask a question. I was. You're somehow relating his being a sniper in Iraq to the stand-up tour at the Wilbur Theater. Dude, I understand what you're saying, because sometimes I'll have to stop at an Arby's and I don't know what it's
I'm gonna be away from home for 2 days. It's killing me.
That's exactly what I'm saying. 2 weeks for me away from home, I'm fucking freaking. I couldn't imagine 9 months. And then over there.
Oh, you definitely miss them. My wife would send me DVDs so I could see my kids growing up.
Jesus.
And I'd be able to call, and you try to call to when everyone's going to be awake, and you can actually talk to the kids, or depend on how young they are, so you can just put it there so you can hear them grunt or whatever.
Oh, geez.
That is odd that they got that now. Like you think back at World War II and Korean War, Vietnam. Like, imagine having that type of connection with your family, even though it sucks you're away from them, but having that kind of connection through Skype or something.
Oh, it was amazing
back then,
dude. Over there, I thought it was going to be just tents and mud. I mean, we went at the mess halls.
Yeah,
were fucking like a Vegas buffet. Like, I mean, it was crazy. I thought me and Colin, the fatties that we were, because he was fat back then too. We thought we were going to starve, so we brought little bars and stuff. There's going to be no food. There was more. I gained 30 pounds in Iraq. There was. You go to the buffet. There's Chinese food, mac and cheese, barbecue, pizza, ice cream. You could walk up to this ice cream and get as many ice cream bars and sundaes as you wanted.
Yeah, were you privy to that?
No.
No.
You went to the big, nice bases.
Yeah.
That's not
Were you
where
Air
we
Force,
were.
Bobby? We went over. The Air Force had the best food, I think.
Air Force
they
was
do.
Air Force was the best base ever. Yeah. They had a fucking room with just computers, pool tables, and video games.
Wow.
In the middle of the desert, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Marine
base.
base that had, they had they did have just a tub full of shit.
That's
and it was
usually what you eat.
Yeah, it was a little weird. It was definitely, it was in the middle of nowhere, 20 miles off the Syrian border. I got off the plane with my 2 light sticks because I was scared because it was so dark out. And the guy starts yelling at me, "You want to get shot in the head? Put those light sticks away."
Yeah, what are you doing?
And then explain why other people had handed you those light sticks and said, "Look, when you get off the plane, just wave them wildly."
Colin said, "You look like a plane landing a plane."
But he didn't live like that. He was out in the field. How do you sleep at night when you're out in the field and in between?
You learn to sleep anywhere.
But aren't you paranoid that there's someone around that could do you some harm while you're sleeping?
You never sleep all at the same time. You do shift work.
Oh yeah, you're there with more than one person.
You're
Were you ever completely alone because the mission called for it?
No.
I see.
Were you ever close to being captured, or were you actually worried like there's more people, more Iraqis or whatever than I was hoping for? Was there ever a moment you thought you might be taken?
Not so much a moment I thought it'd be taken, but a moment that definitely thought, all right, we're not coming out of this one.
Oh, in the shit, as they say.
Wow.
What was that about? What happened?
Well, I mean, there was a few instances, but the last one was in Solder City. We went in on a foot patrol, and we wound up being surrounded. Oof. And they caught us in an open air market, and the guys were on rooftops and hammering us.
And you guys were getting shot at. What, did you just duck behind anything that was available?
Yeah, I mean, you were trying to return fire. We called in for extract, and the Rangers came flying in on their strikers and pulled us out.
No kidding.
Damn.
I got to ask you a question. You said earlier you take a shot in a city, right? And you're successful. How the hell do you guys get out of there with all your equipment and everything? You're on a rooftop, let's say. You made the shot. The guy's dead. How do you get out?
Usually
What's protocol? Do you call, I don't know, transportation before you take the shot?
Well, cab.
No. Usually
but-
you're going to stay for a known amount of time unless you're really getting hammered.
But they're going to be looking for you now, right?
Right.
In some instances?
Well, you're usually calling in for an extract. Someone's coming to pick you up.
Right. And what does that entail?
Whether it's Hummers coming in, the Strikers, or Bradleys, anything, any kind of troop carrier is usually coming to get you.
How long from the time you call in for an extract until you get one? Because you might have been silent there for a while.
That's what
and
I'm
the
saying.
shot rings out, right? And everybody knows, okay,
Yeah.
that's where they are. How long does an extract take from the time you call it in?
It depends on how close they are. It just varies. Depends on where you set up for your QRF, your quick reaction force. If they're going to be 5 minutes away or if they're going to be a half hour away.
But my point is your heart's got to be pounding at that point. You did what you had to do, and
So
now you're
during
just
the whole
waiting
time
to
it would be,
to
right?
get the hell out of there.
Yeah, but
no, but I mean at that point now,
Yeah.
now your position possibly could be given up, and now you're just waiting to get the hell out of there to safety.
Yeah, but I was in there with all my guys, and we were
Yeah.
heavily armed, so I knew that we could fend off an attack, and my
Gotcha.
guys are definitely true warriors, and they were
You
gonna-
were probably able to take on a greater number of people than you were. If you had a group of how many? 16 or so?
Usually we'd go out there somewhere around 16, depending
Yeah.
on the mission where we were going.
You could probably handle more people than that coming at you.
I think
their
so.
training, and I don't think they had as good a training or weapons as you guys did.
No, we definitely had, we got technology on our side, the weapons that we had, the weapon systems, and of course the training.
Yeah. How close did you ever come? Did you get? Were you wounded, or did you ever come close to where you went? Holy shit, that was close.
Well, the same night where we called in the extract, I took a round across top of the helmet and one in the back.
Oh,
I thought,
shit.
all right, this is it. I'm
That's
going
it.
down
So you got shot in the back?
in the body armor.
Oh,
Body
okay.
armor.
Did it penetrate or no?
It went through the armor, but it slowed it down to where it didn't go fully into me.
Damn. That's
Holy
fucked.
shit.
The book, let me promote the name of the
Yeah,
book. We're
absolutely.
yapping like fucking a bunch of 8-year-olds asking questions. The book is called American Sniper, Chris Kyle, and it's the autobiography of the most lethal sniper in U.S. military history. It's just fascinating. So we could have you here all day and just ask
Yeah.
questions. And there's something about a guy like you, because you're at what every guy, like, we don't, when guys are playing Army when we're kids, we're pretending to be you. And then here you live this life. Is it hard when you come out to kind of relate to civilians and regular people? Because they all want to ask you questions like this.
And anytime now everybody's like, oh, I know a SEAL, or I know a friend who knows a SEAL. And
Yeah.
so everyone now knows a SEAL because SEALs are so popular now in the media. But it's definitely hard to become a civilian again. It's a completely different way of life. And when you have to worry about facing life and death, and then you come home and the civilians' day-to-day stressors, you're looking at it going, that's stupid. Why are you worried about that?
Yeah.
Oh, makes you maybe a little calmer in regular life?
I mean, yes and no, because in certain ways you're a little more stressed out and going, God, this is stupid.
Yeah, this is stupid, but I have to deal with it, and, it's stupid.
And when you're in, you don't have to worry about PC. I mean, you offend everybody all day long because they're your tight family, and that's how you talk to each other. Now that you're out, you have to worry about everything.
I don't know why
you say.
people don't understand that either. And that's really the most primal of situations to be in with people, that where you can call your best friend a fucking asshole, or maybe, you know, throw a racial joke around with your buddies or whatever. But then you have to come back and be like, what? Why? You know, I was in a really horrific situation, and, you know, we were able to goof around with each other, and now I got to deal with these dumbass rules. That makes no sense
But
to
you
me.
guys had a lot of rules over there too, like the Italians and the British and Australian. They could drink and have women, and the Americans couldn't have porn. They couldn't have women in the same bunks in the same area. They couldn't have alcohol.
I bet they figured it out.
Well, the Italians used to get the American women over to their base. That's what I
really?
find. Oh yeah, they'd get the Air Force chicks who were smoking hot, by the way, and get them over because the Italians had the custom-made black outfits with the shoulder pads and the berets. Just a hot soldier.
A nice cut.
It's like
yeah,
someone was
come-
paying attention.
Yeah, really. Jesus.
Yeah, you really gained a
Sorry,
lot of
Bob.
experience over there. You know, you can eat as many ice cream bars as you want.
And the
Really?
Italian
And the
soldiers
Italian
are
men
hot.
have good uniforms. Jesus, Bob. You're a disaster.
You really are. I have to ask it. I'm embarrassed to ask this, but where did you poop? That would drive me nuts. No, if you're out in the field, though. Like, you walk around the city, you can't find a place to take
Anywhere.
a dump.
That's a good, yeah, actually.
Most of the restaurants won't allow you to go in.
Just poop in a hole.
Usually you have your MREs with you, and you crap in the bag.
Oh, they give a bag to shit in?
Well, the MREs come in a bag.
Oh.
Usually after you eat your meal, you just hang on to that bag.
That's for meals ready to eat.
Yes. And then what do you do?
Civilian.
You leave the bag behind, I hope, right? You're not carrying
You're
out
not
your own
supposed
poop.
to. You're supposed to take
Get
everything
out
out.
of
Oh,
here.
your
Are
God,
you
really?
serious?
You didn't, though, right?
Is it like camping?
Not always,
It's not
no.
camping.
No, you're pooping wherever
People
you
are
can.
shooting at me. Excuse me, I'm going to leave my shit here.
Someday on a rooftop.
Imagine the cranky ass you would have on a rooftop after pooing in a bag.
Wow.
But the
yeah.
beauty is somebody's going to find a bag of his shit 6 months from now on a roof. That is kind of a fucking great feeling.
Probably use it as fuel.
I'd love to do that here in the city. Leave bags of shit on the apartments. All right, we're just getting stupid at this point.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fascinating talking to you. And
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
book looks unbelievable. I wish I'd had more time to read it.
Good sense of humor, too, Chris.
Well, I was trying to portray my actual personality in the book to show people that I am just an average guy. I like to cut up and don't take myself too serious. And there's so many guys out there that are a lot better than me, so I'm not trying to portray myself as the world's greatest sniper. I just
Yeah.
happen to be in certain situations, and I made some lucky shots and came out okay.
Do you find what's worse than regular civilians who never did military service trying to relate to you on that level? Like, we'll ask questions shamelessly, like
Shamelessly.
girls. But when a guy tries to
like girls.
But I mean, how insulting is that when a guy tries to relate to you, like he knows and he has no idea what he's talking about?
You get it every day. You just get used to it.
You do, right?
Yeah, but I mean, everybody's curious. There's certain areas of life that I don't have any experience with that I'm sure I annoy the hell out of people. Keep asking questions about that. So
But you could snap their neck.
Yeah.
He's a
not
sniper.
such a-
He's not a kung fu expert.
Well, look, yeah, you know what?
He's a SEAL. He probably has some military trial.
Kind of
some
looks like he could be,
martial arts training.
Why don't you challenge him, Bobby?
To what?
Exactly.
I'll do
You could
Xbox.
snap your neck.
I'll beat him in Xbox.
that barracks ice cream eating that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So I was over there. I had 2 milkshakes. One of the Marines goes, "You gonna have both of those, fatty?" So I gave him one, and then my other one fell. I had to go back and get 2 more.
You asshole. Oh, that's fantastic.
But do you know when you walk out with 2 milkshakes, the other guys probably look at you and go, "That's what we're fighting for."
And then they all desert. That's why they call it deserting. Watch Bobby.
Bobby was deserted.
You just put it together. You just put it together.
All right, let's get
That's
Chris
funny.
out of here. He's a very busy
Yes,
man.
Chris.
Chris, thanks so much,
Thank
man.
you very much.
The Opie and Anthony Podcast.
We got Alex Jones calling in today.
Good. Yeah,
Or are we calling him?
he's always willing to get on the line, which I like.
He's an asshole.
But at least he's willing to get on the
No, he
phone.
really is an asshole. Why are you laughing at that, Sam?
He's willing to get on the phone.
It was just so funny. Like, Jim was like giving him the benefit of a doubt type of thing. You got to say, it's always nice that he is willing to get on the phone, and you just snap right to it.
Asshole.
Don't forget, he's a fucking asshole.
Why would you want to listen to a radio show that has the exact same voice?
I like it. It's funny.
All right.
It's a comedy
We all believe
show.
in dumb, stupid, different shit.
It's very funny.
But I'll tell you why he's an asshole, because he went on his show and said that that we were in on a conspiracy and we
always
scripted the
a
whole
conspiracy,
interview with
yeah.
Chris Kyle. That's why he's a fucking asshole, because he knows
Always.
damn well that we weren't in on it. But I
Yeah.
guess he has to play in that in that arena.
Yeah,
that everything
everything's
has to be a
conspiracy.
conspiracy, and everyone has to be in on
The
it.
government's
and things
involved.
have to be scripted. Get the
That's
fuck
the best,
out of here.
The best part of it is that even if it was some kind of a pre-hatched plan,
Be careful
that
what
we
you say,
had,
because he'll replay this and say, "See,
I know,
look, they're
yeah.
admitting it right here."
But even if it was, do you honestly think it would go all the way up to the government? Like he said it was a government conspiracy.
right.
Yeah, we've had such a great relationship with the government.
And I love how Bill O'Reilly just flat out stole our big exclusive.
He
so now
spun
that
it his way.
everyone is just focusing on the Bill O'Reilly interview with Chris Kyle.
Yeah.
But we were the first to have that, and we got the info out of the guy.
It's also a video. It helps with this video because they can show it.
We
on
got
TV.
video.
Oh, you're right. You know what? We do.
We filmed that day.
You are
Exactly.
correct.
Oh my God, it's exhausting to see the comments on this fucking video. By the way, they are just coming out of the woodwork.
Who?
On the Chris Kyle interview? You got hardcores on both sides.
Oh, Jesse's
yeah.
fans.
you got
Jesse's
Jesse's fans.
They're all assholes.
I wish I was Jesse's fan.
They really think that he's. They really think that he's telling. He's talking truth to power. You know, they're such dopes.
Well,
Please.
we could play. Jesse Ventura talked about our video in the Bill O'Reilly interview, I believe. You want to hear this real fast?
Sure, I'm sure it's riveting.
Or maybe I think they're just focusing on Bill O'Reilly now. Now that it's Bill O'Reilly's story.
Yeah, of course.
Ventura responds to the punch thing on Alex
Yeah.
Jones. Rambles for 6 straight minutes.
Nice.
So this is Jesse Ventura, his side of the story. If you don't know, we had Navy SEALs sharpshooter Chris Kyle on, and it was a great hour of radio, man. Really a lot of fun. A lot
I believe
good.
him, too.
I believe a pretty good interview. And then he admitted that he punched and pretty much knocked Jesse Ventura down to the ground for talking some shit.
Yup.
And Alex Jones thinks it didn't happen and that we were in on a conspiracy and we scripted the whole thing with Chris Kyle. Well, he finally got Jesse Ventura on his show, and this is what Jesse had to say.
Governor Jesse Ventura, we've seen a big national news story claiming that this Navy SEAL who just had a book come out this week at a bar knocked you down and then ran away because you were saying you were glad that Navy SEALs were dead. I mean, it sounds like something out of the Twilight Zone.
Well, Alex, anyone that's ever heard...
Well, Alex.
Right off the bat.
Well, Alex, let me tell you something. You can believe what you want.
Oh, God. That voice.
I guess we were out to ruin his reputation, right?
Yeah, his great reputation.
Yeah.
A fighter.
Well, Alex, anyone that's ever heard me talk knows that that's not true at all. I have no idea why this person is saying it or for what purpose it's to serve. But, you know, if he stated that he struck me, knocked me down, and then fled, I want people to understand clearly he's confessing then to the crime of assault. And it's assault on a former governor, an elected official, a former elected official twice. I want to clear his name because he's confessing to assaulting me, and it didn't happen. I can unequivocally tell you that I've never been punched in Coronado, California since I've been out of the Navy. I got out of the Navy in active duty in 1973, and I've never been struck by anyone. I've been out there multiple times for reunions that are the third weekend in August every year, and this may have been the graduation, what he's talking about in 06 of class 258, because it's traditional that when 100 years, I was class 58. When 158 graduated back, I believe in the 80s, I went to that graduation because that's a tradition. And then when 258 graduated in...
Oh, my God. He's losing everybody.
Now I understand what Danny was saying. Danny
When
was
258 graduated.
Danny had this audio, and he told us, look, I can't cut this audio because the guy never took a breath, and there's no way
Yeah.
to cut it. He just rambles for 6 straight minutes. I don't know if it happened.
No, I don't either. So far,
It seemed believable at the time when we asked Chris Kyle.
what he's saying is it's kind of convincing. Like when he first said he's confessing to assault, I'm like, he's just trying to give Chris Kyle a way to deny it.
There's
Like,
a
hey,
statute
I'll
of
sue you.
limitations.
Yeah.
You can't fucking sue him. He can't do anything.
But I don't know. Chris Kyle did seem kind of convincing, and he didn't mention it in the book.
Yeah.
He seemed very convincing. Yeah.
And Jesse's just been, like, when you watch his show, you listen to some of the stuff he said, everything I've heard from Jesse, I've just interpreted it as bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to take the word of somebody that seems a little more trustworthy as far as their words go.
Well, what he said was, I'm sorry, he didn't say that. He said, I'm glad Navy SEALs are getting killed.
No, that's
he said,
fucking
Jesse said,
Alex. Just
you guys got to take. It's good you guys take a few or something. Or
Yeah.
you're gonna do whatever it was. But
He's
it wasn't
misquoted Kyle. Alex has misquoted Kyle throughout this thing, like I've never heard anyone misquoted before.
Yeah.
Horrid.
Isn't there anyone that could back up Chris Kyle's story?
Yeah, there's probably
If
other
the
people
bar
that
was
were in the bar, I guess.
So we need one of those guys to come
Yeah.
forward, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And then when 258 graduated in 2006, I believe it was, I went to that. But and McPee's bar is owned by Doc McPartland, who was my SEAL cadre instructor. When I just came out of training, he instructed me in SEAL SBI, SEAL Basic Indoctrination. And he owns that establishment. And I would never, ever misbehave in the Doc's establishment. I have too much respect for him. And if people truly want to clear this up, call him. Call McPease, because if a former governor within the SEAL community had been knocked down and hit and assaulted, it would have traveled through the SEAL community like wildfire. And for this to now say it happened 5.5 or 6 years after it happened, that's absurd. But I want to state that even though this person is confessing to committing a crime against me of assault, I want to state unequivocally he is not guilty of that crime, because he never hit me. I don't even know who he is. If I've met him or not, I don't know it.
Jesse's sounding pretty believable.
Yeah.
I like the part where he says it would have went through the SEAL community.
But
like,
other guys are
like
saying
wildfire.
it did. Other guys,
Yeah,
he
people
was saying
said it
is.
did, yeah.
But where are those guys?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm playing both sides of this one.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
where are those guys now? Like, who could collaborate his story?
Yeah.
But then again,
There's
why,
got to be one guy.
why would Chris? This is what bothers me about this. Chris Kyle makes it up. He makes it up like I punched him in a bar in front of people. Like, to me, a smart lie would be I punched him in the hallway, when it's your word against his.
Or in the alley after we were all done
Yeah,
and we were
or-
walking to our cars or whatever.
Or it was me and him in the men's room, and I fucking punched
Right,
him
where
he
there's
sets
no
up
witnesses.
where there's no witnesses.
to say it happened in plain sight.
You're
yeah.
literally opening yourself up
Yeah.
to 50 people in the bar going, you're lying. You didn't hit him. We saw the whole thing. You did nothing.
Right. I mean, but someone has to come forward for Chris Kyle at this point.
Yeah.
Who has more of a motive to lie? Chris to sell books or Jesse to save face? Chris selling books, he did not mention it in the book. He mentioned punching someone. He did not mention who it was.
Right.
Why wouldn't you mention who it was? Then again, maybe he was afraid of getting sued. Then again, I kind of like the fact he didn't mention who it was because he wasn't, I don't know how to feel about it.
This is confusing. But the one thing that's not confusing is the fact that we were not in on this, idiot. We asked a few questions, and that's what happened. Got a tip that this happened, so we asked him.
Yeah.
But according to Alex Jones, we were in on it, and we scripted the whole fucking thing.
That's how it worked.
He's going to be calling in, 20 minutes? This Alex Jones.
Oh, great.
He's going to use
Can't
his
wait to hear him.
real voice or his radio voice?
Radio voice.
Even from home?
Absolutely.
Damn.
He'll have that fast talking radio voice on. Oh, God.
Jesse continues.
Oh, does he?
His name, I don't even know it right now as I talk to you. I just know that he made accusations that he hit me back in 06, I guess, and that he fled the bar.
Can I shouldn't have looked down at my Twitter. The horse AMF, last tweet I read from you. I don't deal with anybody anymore. No backpedaling, Jim and Opie. Starting to sound like the other jocks.
It's not backpedaling.
We're not backpedaling at all.
When you hear something and you hear the other side of an argument, would you rather that I stubbornly stuck to it or I told you honestly after hearing Ventura, who I don't like, his explanation?
Right.
Okay, now I wasn't there. So would you rather I be ignorant and like pretend I'm like Alex Jones and go,
Right.
this is what happened, I know.
Right.
I don't know because I wasn't there.
Right. And Alex Jones should say the exact same thing. When Chris Kyle told the story, we're like, holy fuck, he sounds very believable.
Not backpedaling, you don't.
But now that I'm hearing Jesse Ventura, I have questions, and that's how you should do this shit, you idiot. It takes a brave person to go, wow, you know what? I got more questions now, instead of sticking to your initial thought.
I believe Chris Kyle, because there's certain ways Jesse is saying it that it also does give me pause. Like he's saying, I'm admonishing him of that crime, or he's confessing. Like, why would you say he's confessing to a crime? It's almost like you're trying to put it in his head.
Yeah,
Right. Don't
yeah.
push this.
Right.
Why not just say that guy's a liar? He never touched me.
And can he sue still? He could sue for making up a fake story, right?
I don't know if it's defamation or not. Oh,
Oh,
maybe. yeah.
is it defamation?
My-
what he said,
the one-
something like that. Maybe. Who
Look,
knows?
I'm not a fan of Jesse Ventura at all, but the one thing that resonates certainly is when he said this would have went through the Navy SEAL community like a wildfire, and you got to think it would have. But are those guys under this thing where they keep it among themselves and they don't openly talk about it?
Yeah, maybe it's just one of those things that everybody knows about. Apparently, other people did know about
Yeah.
it. Who knows?
That makes me suspicious, and that makes me want to ask more questions, you fucking idiot.
Or
You're like Troy Kwan.
unless Chris Kyle just punched unless he just
lookalike?
punched an older guy. Yeah. Riffraff.
Riff-raff.
Unless he just punched an older guy, and then when a guy called in and had heard it was Jesse Ventura,
Right.
Yeah.
and then Chris Kyle went, oh, that sounds... you know,
Rocky
who
Horror
knows?
was in
Yeah.
town, maybe, and they were at the same bar.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else Jesse says here.
Lead the bar. If that was true, Alex, maybe I should go up since he's confessing to a crime. Maybe I should go up and file the charges. And if he did do this and said police were coming or whatever it was he stated, wouldn't there be a police report? I can assure you there is.
I'm going to pause again. It sounds like he could still file the charges. So Jesse's got to file charges, or he looks like an idiot here.
He's talking too much about the charges, though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
That to me,
Right.
That's like saying, because I could sue you. You're just trying to put that in someone's head. I'm going to file
Yeah.
charges.
And if your reputation's on the line, then why not? Go file the charges. Let's play this out there, Jesse.
Yeah.
Right? This is a weird situation.
Yeah.
If one guy like backed up Chris Kyle, then I wouldn't have a doubt in my mind. And hopefully that'll happen if this story continues to grow.
Yeah, we'll see.
A police report? I can assure you there isn't one, and I can assure you this event did not happen. Nobody has ever hit me when I've been up there, since I've been off active duty.
Hulk
Let me
Hogan.
categorize that. I got off active duty in '73.
Macho
Nobody
Man.
there have I ever been in any trouble or did anything but reunions and graduations or whatever it might have been, or retirement. And the thing is, you're never at McPee's alone. You're there with your teammates and your classmates, and you're all celebrating. When you go to McPee's, there'll be at least 5 or 6 guys with you. Well, I would sure like to hear of a witness that saw of this event, because it never happened. It's plain and that simple. And what does concern me is that this is 2 times now within about a 2-week period where the mainstream media has ran with something that was completely untrue. As you know,
Pause that real
they
quick.
stated that
The thing is this, you're not willing to come on this show, so it's not like we could have called you at that moment, and we couldn't have called you the next day
Right.
because you refused to come back on since you were scolded, and you were apparently unreachable. Even Alex Jones couldn't get a hold of you. So
Yeah.
stop acting like the mainstream media just ran with it without contacting you. when
Yeah.
apparently, you're really hard to get a hold of.
Well, in all fairness to Jesse, that the mainstream media does that all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Jesse's a dick.
But our video is just what it is. It happened. We put it out there. We didn't even try to spin it or anything. This is this guy's story. Wow, this is a big story. Can we get Chris Kyle back on the phone or something? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is there a possibility?
They're checking into it.
Yeah, let's.
So no spin zone here.
Jesse continues. You want to keep
Oh,
going with
please.
this? All right.
that was completely untrue. As you know, they stated that I was tailgating a car a couple weeks ago out in the San Fernando Valley on the way to the airport, and that was solely not true because I haven't been to California for 6 months, and I haven't flown in an airplane for 15 months, and you can attest to that because you were with me the last time I flew in a commercial airliner, and that was well over a year ago. So it's 2 times now that bogus, serious, false stories have been perpetuated out there by the mainstream media against me. And I guess, Alex, I can only say maybe because I'm rattling my sword about the elections, maybe because I support Ron Paul, who's not popular or whatever, or they say he's fringe because...
Please stop with that shit. I mean,
I
kind of like Ron Paul now, too,
Yeah,
but he's not going to get elected, so that no one's panicking over, oh, my God, we got to shut down everyone that's supporting Ron Paul. So you got to stop with that argument.
And Jesse's already have a shitty enough reputation where no one thinks they need to shut him up.
No,
Right.
not at all.
Right. Oh, it's because I support Ron Paul.
It's not what it is.
So they got to shut me down.
So the government's after him.
That's dumb.
Let's get the bar owner on the phone.
Popular or whatever, or they say he's fringe because he stands for peace. Maybe because I support peace and not war in this country now, that makes you a target for the people that do support war. I don't know. I'm only speculating there, but I'll let you have it, Alex, and you can speak. But I just want to tell you unequivocally, this event did not happen. And I can't speak to anything else that this person would say because I don't know him. To my knowledge, I've never, ever even met him. Maybe I have, I don't know. But you know, you meet a lot of the younger guys, but you don't recall who they are. But never have I ever been hit or treated disrespectfully in the Navy UDT SEAL community at McPee's bar or any official UDT SEAL function in any way. In fact, I'm treated with honor and dignity at all times. So I don't know where this story or why this young gentleman wants to plead that he committed a crime against me, but I can unequivocally plead for his innocence because the event never happened.
Governor,
so yeah.
Governor Jesse Ventura joins us from Mexico down on the Baja via audio.
Mexico. Via audio.
We got a guy on Twitter. I won't give out his name there, but he says SEALs don't discuss shit in their community with those outside their community. Jesse knows this. He's lying.
Well.
So they got that code thing.
Well, the code.
And then someone else is saying it's very suspicious. The weird part is when Chris Kyle said he ran away. Yeah, why would you admit that? If you hit another guy, the last thing you want to admit to anyone is, yeah, I hit him and I ran because I was scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could he could have easily have left that out of the story.
Well, we were asking, like, what happened then? What happened next?
No, I know.
So it's kind of odd. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, Amp?
I don't know.
Are you backpedaling?
I just know Jesse is. I'm sure.
Are you backpedaling? Are you?
I know Jesse has told some things that I have found inconsistent over the years. So, who knows?
Yeah, I didn't have an opinion on this either way. All I knew as a radio guy, holy shit, we got something cool today. Let's put this on the internet. That's all I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know Chris Kyle. I don't know his friends. I don't know the bar owner.
Well, I was a Navy SEAL, and we don't talk about stuff.
Oh,
it sounded convincing, and that's all I know.
Thank you for your service.
I was a SEAL. I was bouncing a ball and something.
Falls across the nose.
But now Ventura sounds like there's some things in there.
Yeah, but I find that who has a bigger reason? They both have reasons to lie, let's be honest. Jesse to save face, and again, Chris to sell books.
Yeah, but he had a hell of a fucking career. Why would you take that chance to sell a few books?
I'm not saying, yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't make sense.
Why would you take that chance? You had an amazing career.
It's almost...
And you got this private company now. That a lie like this could hurt that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what his motive would be to lie. It doesn't seem like there's an upside.
Unless it was something, unless it was a bullshit thing that was going around for a while, like a rumor that he kind of embraced because it raised his profile. And then when it got mentioned publicly, he was like, again, I still believe Chris Kyle.
Yeah, Jesse's been known to fly off the handle and say some fucked up shit. You know,
I believe Chris Kyle for the little knowledge
Yeah.
I got on this whole thing.
And I'll tell you why I have trouble believing Ventura. Because our whole interview, which people who criticized me for the interview I had with him, with you filming, you didn't get every part of it because you only had a 1 hour flip, so you would turn it on and off. So I always love when people.
I think there's a longer version up there now.
Oh,
right?
there's the audio. There is.
Yeah.
But people who didn't hear the whole thing think I just attacked him, and he's like, "Yeah, I was," but you weren't being a gentleman. You were being an asshole. He was being an asshole, and hearing the way he spun that, I was like, "You phony! You don't sound like you're being. You're not a gentleman. You weren't being nice. You were insulting.
Yeah.
You're being rude."
And he's getting more and more frustrated that day because we kept asking more and more questions. We just didn't let him just slide with some vague shit.
The Opie and Anthony Podcast. The Opie and Anthony Podcast continues.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
What's up, Chris?
Not much. How y'all doing?
Well,
Good, buddy.
You told the story on our show that you punched Jesse Ventura in a bar. And, wow, the story took off, man.
Was this the first place you've ever told that story publicly?
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, for a big audience like that, I mean, the event is in the book, but I purposely left his name out because I didn't want that whole thing to take off like that. And then ever since then, I've been trying to kind of deflect questions from it because not trying to make money off of putting him down or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got a tip that it was Jesse Ventura. We asked you, and you decided to say yes to that and admit it was Jesse Ventura. Because, like you said in the book, it's very vague. You said you punched a guy, fuzzy-faced guy, was it? Was that the exact?
Yeah, scruffy face.
Scruffy face, right. Well, a lot of people are now calling you a liar, including...
I believe you, by the way.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, so far we believe you, absolutely.
They can call me whatever they want because I know this thing has gotten so blown up that the only way to actually put it to rest is the witnesses. I have asked them to stay out of it to where finally now I've said, you know what, just go ahead, come out with it.
Oh,
and then
okay.
we can put this behind us.
Oh, you
That's a
have
good
actually
idea.
asked them to speak up because there was audio we heard of Ventura, of course. You probably heard it too, where he's denying ever meeting you, and he's harping on the fact that a crime has been committed and maybe he should file charges.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely should if he thinks that's right.
Do you regret it at all?
You know what? I wish I would have handled it differently. I mean, the story, I think, definitely needed to be in the book like it is. But as far as, I probably should have played it down to where his name didn't get out there. But you know what? It is now, so I'm...
What exactly happened, Chris? If you could just refresh, because a lot of people might not have heard you on that moment. Just if you could give us a brief, just kind of sum the story up so people know what we're talking about.
It was a wake for Mikey Monsoor, and of course all the families were there, and he was there. He started getting loud and voicing his opinion, coming out against the war and the troops and everything. So we asked him to keep it down, and he got belligerent about it and finally said we deserve to lose a few.
Yeah, that's way over the line.
Now, was he was there, this was in a bar, just so people know.
Yes, it was the outside patio portion of a bar, and we were standing on the sidewalk of it.
Now, was he with anybody, or was he alone, to your knowledge?
No, I mean, he was definitely there at the bar with people.
Oh, he was with people. So there's a few people that saw this?
Oh, there's a bunch of people that saw this.
Yeah, and they've spoken about it like in smaller circles over the years. It's not like this has been a complete secret.
Oh, no, I mean, the entire community has known about this.
And there's a room, there's a radio guy who's friends with Jesse Ventura who thinks that we all scripted this together. I guess because Opie just happened to look over.
Yeah.
And at the instant feedback, which is the one-time instant feedback, actually, gave us something helpful.
Actually, it was a phone call.
Oh, a phone call? Okay.
It seemed like it might have been someone that really knows Chris Kyle and was kind of just, hoping that you were finally going to mention the name. But Alex Jones says that it's a conspiracy. We were in on the conspiracy, even though we just met you that morning. And by the way, we thought you were awesome.
Yeah.
We think you're the greatest.
People loved you on the show, man.
And they also, Alex Jones also says we scripted the whole thing. So we helped you along, and we got together and we came up with this whole thing.
Right, I've heard all those rumors.
Jesse was the wrestler. He did the scripted stuff,
Right.
not other people.
And also, I love how Chris Kyle's admitting that he told us first because Bill O'Reilly took this fucking story and stole it from us. That cocksucker. That cocksucker.
Yeah, he kind of ran with it like he just well, whatever.
Well, we got Alex Jones on the line too. He wants in on this. You cool with that, Chris?
Definitely.
All right. Hey, Alex.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Alex.
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony show.
Hey, I like the show. Also, like Norton when he's on the Boneyard.
Thank you very much, man.
Don't kiss ass right now.
Well, we
Why, it's still
got.
nice.
No, kiss people.
No. Let's not kiss anyone's ass right
I
now.
actually
All right.
listen to that. Hey, I actually listen to that channel. I mean, so I'm just saying I listen to it.
You're kissing a little ass because you know you're in a tough spot right now, sir. Why did you call us liars, and why did you say that we were in on a conspiracy with Chris Kyle and that we scripted this thing?
Okay, well, number one, I'm not in a tough place. I was just trying to be friendly. I just woke up about 15 minutes.
No, you're in a tough place. Jesse
No,
Ventura.
I'm not in a tough place.
Jesse
I'm on
Ventura
here
lied
talking
on your
about
show.
Infowars.com.
Jesse Ventura lied on your show, sir.
Alex, so what happened? You thought that we scripted this with Chris Kyle, which is ludicrous. What are you thinking there?
No, let me tell you what I meant by that. I'm saying the way he was talking, then somebody calls in with it, and the way he was talking, I think it was scripted. I did not think and did not say that I thought you guys were in on the lie. I was watching your face on the video, and it looks like you're there believing it and hearing it for the first time. So you guys aren't even on the radar screen as far as I'm concerned with this whole deal. But I know Jesse pretty damn well and see him get tears in his eyes and stuff when he talks to troops in airports and stuff. I mean, quite frankly, if he sees troops, he runs over or they run over to him, and it goes on. And it's the same thing about it's the politicians that have sent you, and it's wrong, and it's terrible what's happening to you, and all this stuff. So when I heard him talk about punching him and knocking him down, I thought, well, that sounds wild, but could be true. But as soon as he said the thing on O'Reilly and stuff about, he said, you deserve to die. You guys deserve to die when the family's right there. That is made up, period. I knew it was bull then, and guaranteed. Ventura, I've never even heard him. After I did that interview the other day on Skype, he was like, heard him like almost crying in the background, and his wife totally angry. So believe me, Ventura's not getting ready to depose people and go absolutely ape over nothing. He doesn't have people over there at that McPee's place getting getting affidavits signed and stuff for nothing.
All right, listen.
Totally made up.
All right, listen. So you have no doubt that Chris Kyle did not punch Jesse Ventura.
No, what I just said is I was going back to when I watched the video last week when he first said,
did Chris Kyle punch Jesse Ventura or not?
Well, let me just stop you right there. Ventura denies that it ever happened.
And do you believe that?
Absolutely. But what I'm telling you is watching the video, knowing Ventura, knowing him well, I'm watching the video, and the guy's saying, he was talking about the war and punched him. I'm thinking, well, that might have happened. When he gets to the part about, he said the SEALs deserve to die, and when he said it on O'Reilly, it looked really scripted by him. He was following a script. I knew it was pure bull, and as soon as I talked to Ventura, as soon as I could get a hold of him, sure enough, he was completely dumbfounded.
Alex, we got to jump in a little bit because
yeah.
Don't forget, Chris is not a public figure, so he's not used to speaking publicly. So when he's talking about things that he's not used to talking about on Bill O'Reilly, a show he's probably watched for 10 years,
right,
it might be a little bit more nerve-wracking. And we do have Chris here to respond to that. We have to let him respond.
Yeah.
Chris, how do you feel
Well,
about
he'll get to respond in court.
Well, no, I mean right now, Chris.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I've got the people that are definitely going to come out, and some of them are the family members that were there, so I'm not too concerned.
And Chris, what did he say about the Navy SEALs dying? I think that's being misquoted. What
you
did
are
he say?
misquoting it, Alex.
What did he say, Chris?
He said you deserve to lose a few.
Deserve to lose a few.
Yeah, that means deserve to die.
What it means and what was said.
Don't try Perry Mason crap.
You've been misquoting the man the whole time you've ever.
Hey, Kyle, you think you're going to make a big name for your new American mercenary force to help knock heads of American people? Think again. I know all about Richard Pearl, all about your trips to Israel, all of it, buddy boy.
Who is Richard Pearl?
Who is Richard Pearl?
Alex, I'll give you that.
Who is Richard Pearl?
Yeah, it'll all come out.
And by the way, Alex, we're not giving you.
Who is Richard Pearl?
We're not and we're also not giving you Perry Mason stuff and playing semantics games. The difference, to me, it's more believable for Jesse Ventura to say you guys deserve to lose a few, than to say something as harsh
Right.
as, I'm glad Navy SEALs are dying.
Exactly.
There is a difference in believability in what one guy would say, and I don't think Jesse Ventura would come out and go, I'm glad a soldier's
Look,
dead.
that's the same thing, and that's how
No,
Fox
it's
News
not.
is selling it. That he was that that he's saying the Navy SEALs deserve to lose a few. That is saying lose a few means die.
It absolutely does, but there is a difference in the way you say it. One is
Right.
more believable to
Chris,
me.
listen, I hope for your sake that you are telling the truth. And I mean, Ventura's so freaked out by this. He's saying, do they have a body double of me or something? Let me tell you, I talked to him.
That's
off
paranoia.
air. He is completely flummoxed and dumbfounded.
I'm flummoxed and dumbfounded.
Chris, were you tempted to put Jesse's name in the? Because Alex, one thing that makes this more believable to me is that Chris did not
Put the name
in the book.
Publisher probably said he couldn't prove it.
The publisher.
Now, Chris Kyle is saying today, Alex, that he can prove this, and a lot of the guys that know about this, he finally told them, yeah, you could tell everyone what you saw that day.
Okay, well, that's not what the owner of the bar is going to say.
Now, Chris, why didn't you put it in the book? Honestly,
Because I didn't want this whole reaction to come out here.
Yeah,
I'm
see?
not trying to sell my book off of making someone else look bad.
Mm-hmm.
and Alex, is it possible? Because we heard you calling Chris, you calling it the turkey shoot, and but is it possible that your agenda? Look, you don't like the war; it's common knowledge, and you love Jesse. Isn't it possible that your agenda is skewing the way you're looking at this?
Well, yeah. I mean, we all see through rose-colored glasses, and I'm a Texan. I mean, I'm sure Kyle at some point is a friendly guy. My whole issue here is when I say turkey shoot. Not that I follow too much of this military stuff, but I have a lot of families in the military, and of course, there's the big joke about the Hajis don't know how to aim a gun. My God. There were people there who couldn't believe the kill numbers everybody was getting. I mean, when you're shooting women running around with hand grenades, and you're shooting, plus there's all the contractor footage of them playing Elvis music and shooting whole families out of their cars, and then dropping AK-47s on them. I mean, that's the big joke. Every armored vehicle, and Kyle knows this, is full of drop guns. And they splatter a whole bunch of people at a checkpoint or whatever, drop an AK-47 on them. Y'all get, Bronze Stars for kills in combat. I'm not saying that's exactly what Kyle did, but it's all well known about Iraq.
Kyle, how do you
Iranian war starts?
Yeah, you were over there. You must have seen it,
hold on,
Alex, right?
Kyle, how do you respond to that? You got to let Kyle respond. You can't make an accusation like that and not let Kyle respond. He's got to respond. Kyle?
Well,
Chris, I'm sorry.
No problem. We've never had drop weapons on us, but I can tell you as far as the book, it's not sitting there trying to glorify all the people I've killed. It's trying to get across the sacrifices that a military member has to go through while he's overseas, and at the same time, my wife is telling the sacrifices she went through while here at home, and I'm trying to highlight the heroes that surrounded me that made me look good. And all through the book, I downplay myself.
And one thing you said, Chris, too, when you were on, is that people were trying to inflate the number to 2 something. And Alex, you didn't hear the interview, but Chris kept going, no, I'm happy with this. This is fine. Like, I don't need any more numbers attributed to me.
He was downplaying everything that day.
And on your show...
Let me be clear. I think in war, a sniper is an honorable position. People always try to make it look bad. I've interviewed a lot of snipers like Colonel Craig Roberts and others when he did in Vietnam. And I'm not downplaying that that Chris can't shoot a gnat off a fence post at 1,000 yards. I'm simply saying that it's well known, just like with the Army helicopter shooting up the Reuters van, that as far as turkey shoot goes, there were times when you just have all sorts of mayhem and people being blasted in all directions, and it's a lot easier to be a sniper in the desert or in those built-up mount areas than it was in, say, Southeast Asia. I mean, that's my point about turkey shoot. Clearly, Kyle, would it have been harder to make 1,000-yard, 2,000-yard shots in Vietnam in the jungle or from a rooftop into a desert?
Oh, I am not claiming my war is any harder than Vietnam, and I give the Vietnam vets all the props because they definitely fought a harder war, and I give Carlos Hathcock all the credit as being the greatest sniper to have ever lived.
And Alex,
that's all I was saying, guys.
Okay, something you said too, which I thought was a little unfair. But you said that Chris is bragging about shooting women, and the way you painted that, and we played the audio, was that here is this guy going over to Iraq and he's come back acting like he's hot shit for killing women. But when Chris described that shoot, he was really specific.
He was bothered by it.
About being bothered.
I read quotes, and in fairness, the media does take things out of context where it's talking about.
No, you take things out of context because you made it sound like he was bragging about shooting women.
But he didn't brag.
When if you listened to the actual interview and not transcripts, you would have heard Chris Kyle being very bothered by the fact that he shot a woman.
I didn't have time to watch the entire interview. All I saw was like a 3-minute clip on the internet.
No, we understand that, but we're saying is when you're quoting something and you're painting this guy, there's a big difference there. You were painting him as this cavalier ass who was bragging about shooting a woman, and what he was telling us, Chris, I think, is that you made absolutely sure she had a grenade. You could see it through your scope. You were being told, yes, you have to take her out because she's walking towards Marines. Like, he saved U.S. soldiers' lives, but the way you painted him...
Look, all I'm saying is this. Even the Dallas Morning News said there's something creepy, and I'm not even saying this about Kyle, about on TV constantly, especially the host and people smacking their lips, and maybe that's where I'm picking this up. You guys didn't really do that, but some of the other shows getting all excited, tell us more about killing the people, tell us more. And it's just at a certain point, it's disgusting, and I don't want to hear about it. And I'm not saying Kyle's even bad for that. It's true. Now that I've seen more of the interviews with him, he's not the one getting off on it. Some of the hosts are. And I just know all the people I know from Vietnam, World War II, and places will never even talk about it. So I'm just saying, hearing all of this stuff. I mean, I remember one time I was at the deer camp, and I was about 10 years old. There were all these old World War II vets there in Buffalo, Texas, just south of Dallas, where we've got a ranch. And Kyle's from that general area, and I'm sitting there pulling on their leg at 5 a.m. while they're cooking biscuits and gravy before we go hunting. Tell me a war story. Tell me a war story. Tell me a war story. And one old guy who was a tank commander going into Germany, he said, "Okay, there was this woman looked like Marilyn Monroe, walked up and opened up her trench coat and pulled out a rifle, so we cut her in half. Now there's your story. Don't ask me anymore. I understand that war is ugly. I've got all that stuff. All I know is." I don't believe that Jesse Ventura said you deserve to lose a few, and unless he was drunk, and the problem is Jesse hasn't had alcohol in like 15 years because of blood clots. He has to take medicine for blood clots. And I know Kyle's saying that, now that I've seen him on O'Reilly, that he wasn't drinking. All I know is that the Jesse Ventura I know does not talk about and the troops, and always says, I mean, it's a line, he says the same stuff over and over again, that the troops are heroes, it's not their fault, it's the military, it's the politicians' fault for failing and sending them there and lying about WMDs. And so when Chris says that, I mean, and again, right now he sounds like a nice guy, so I'm completely blown away by this because Ventura sounds credible, Kyle, right now sounds calm and nice, and I mean, I don't know what kind of psyop this is or what this is, but let me just tell you, it's a big deal.
Well, okay, we do have a problem because Chris Kyle's saying it happened and Jesse Ventura saying it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And we heard some audio of you, and you said that you don't even believe Jesse Ventura was in the bar that day because he doesn't drink.
Well, yeah, that was probably then like last Thursday or Friday before I talked to Jesse. And then Jesse says, yes, I was there for graduation, but I wasn't there speaking. It was something about numbers that are the same as another class.
Yeah, we heard that part.
So you think Chris Kyle's lying?
I don't believe that Jesse Ventura said you deserve to lose a few.
No. All right, fair enough. But do you think Chris Kyle punched Jesse Ventura and knocked him down?
I told you that when I first was sitting there, they come in during a break when I was on the radio like last Thursday, and they said, have you seen this, from the Opie and Anthony show? And I said, no, seen one. They said, here it is. They pulled it up on screen, and I started watching it. And he says, he was in there talking about the war, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, well, maybe there was a fight. And then when he gets to the part about, you deserve to lose a few, I was like, that's a bunch of bull. And so that was my initial response, is that I can imagine Jesse Ventura, sometime making somebody angry, talking bad about the war, and some type of altercation ensuing. But the part about him saying that, I cannot see that happening. And now that Jesse denied it, I have to believe Jesse. And let me tell you, Jesse's so shocked that another Navy SEAL would say something like this because he thinks they're all honorable that, off air, well, he even said some of it on air. He's like, my God, Alex, do you think, like, like they had a double in there, and this is some type of psyop.
Now, hold on, Chris.
enough with the
Now,
psyop.
Chris, is it possible that you and Jesse were arguing or you were debating, and he said something to the effect of, "It's only natural you're going to lose a few," or you are 100% sure that he said it and with the intention that you heard it?
No. I feel the opinion that he said exactly what I thought he heard. Some other guys that were standing right there.
Oh, they heard it as well?
Same way. And I feel horrible about it coming out the way it had, and I'm sorry I handled it the way I did on your show. I guess I should have just denied it and said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I had no idea. And after all this has come out, I've listened to different interviews of people trying to, say I'm lying and everything. I had no idea Mr. Ventura was thinking about public office, doing all this other stuff. I honestly have no idea who this Pearl guy is. So, no, I'm not part of some bigger thing trying to discredit him. And, yeah, I feel bad that now all of a sudden all this attention is on this. And I'm trying to get a story out there about, hey, y'all look at what the troops have to go through, take notice, and let's take care of these vets.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Definitely.
You're setting up craft, and you say you're going to have basically diplomatic protection, training of law enforcement, all these groups. You've gotten awards from different international groups. I didn't know you'd be here, or I'd pull it up. I mean, have you gone to Israel and gotten police training?
No, sir.
So you haven't gotten awards from that American / Israel group that trains domestic U.S. police?
Well, I got a JINSA award, Jewish Institute for National Security Affairs. That's while I was still active. That was in 2005.
Yeah, well, just so you know, that's Richard Pearl, and he's known as the Prince of Darkness in the Pentagon. That's his nickname, but let's just expand on that for a moment. Do you know about the National Defense Authorization Act and how Congress just abolished the Posse Comitatus Act? I mean, you're a master sergeant, isn't it?
No, sir, I was a chief.
Chief, okay, a chief sergeant. I forget all these different titles and names. I mean, certainly you know what Posse Comitatus is.
What?
Sir, honestly, as far as when it comes to that, I have my business partners because my main concern is running the training side of the business.
I understand, but
what is Posse Comitatus? I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure I've caught it twice.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
Why don't you shut up, Norton, and play some player?
I don't know. I don't know what Posse Comitatus means.
Oh, no, okay. That's the 1878 law barring the military from domestic law enforcement.
Oh, okay.
And Kyle, I mean, I'm just curious here. I mean, this sniper training and stuff. I mean, that's basically paramilitary training for the police, but I know they've had snipers before that. I'm just saying I see a lot of data points here, and I was thinking maybe you had been in an altercation with some big guy looked like Ventura. Maybe somebody told you that was Ventura. Maybe somebody put you up to talking about this, but listening to you now, you sound dumbfounded. So I'm dumbfounded. I think that.
Leave the founded part off.
Yeah. Is it, Alex? Is Jesse really that important in the end? That we have to take out Jesse Ventura and discredit him?
Okay, well, here's why Jesse's.
It's a question. I don't know.
Okay, here's something I know isn't true. 100%. Because I probably talk to Jesse every few weeks or something, or he gives me a call, asks me about news.
Sorry about that.
Just get Ambien.
But my point is, I talked like 2 weeks ago. I called Jesse and I said, "When are you leaving the U.S.? Are you going to be driving through Texas? If you are in your RV, stop by my house." And he's like, "Well, I think I'm leaving, in about a week or so." And he said, "But let me call you in the next few days, and I'll come on the radio before I leave town." I said, "Great. Say hi to your wife. Bye." Next day, phone rings while I'm on air. Jesse Ventura's got some breaking news. He wants to come on. Now, I've just called him in Minnesota, talked to him.
What happened?
His wife got him off the elliptical machine. I know he's in Minnesota, and it's all over TMZ, Fox News, that Jesse Ventura is rubbernecking, recklessly driving in California trying to get to the airport. Well, Jesse hasn't flown in 16 months. Anyway, so Jesse's saying, this is crazy. I think this is some dirty trick saying I'm, tailgating, being pulled over by police. I'm here in Minnesota. So he had to threaten TMZ to retract it. So first you have that false story come out. Fox runs with it. And then this other story comes out. And I'm telling you, if Jesse is lying, he is a better liar than even Herman Cain. If he's lying, he's one of the best liars I've ever seen.
So that means you're saying Chris Kyle's lying. Chris, there's no doubt in your mind that you punched Jesse Ventura that day, right?
Yes, sir, definitely. And Mr. West, you're a friend of Mr. Ventura's. I'd be more than happy if you would like to set up a time for me and him, not on the air, me and him to be able to talk, whether on the phone or in person. I'll be in California this week, and Vegas the week after. I'll be more than happy to sit down, me and him talk, and settle this thing.
Wow, that would be a newsworthy event.
Well, why even make it on the news? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
deflect
Alex,
all
what's
the
wrong with you?
questions on this. He wants this thing to go away. I fully 100% believe I'm telling the truth. You believe him. I think him and I could definitely clear the air on this.
Sure. Well, then I'll tell you what I'll do. If you can get me your number or your email, I'll give it to Jesse, and I know he's got.
Whoa! How about we do it on our show?
Well, no, I'm not even. saying get him on
Whoa!
my
What
show.
happened here?
He doesn't want to do it on any
How about we
show.
do a joint venture, Mr. Alex Jones?
If you want to get them both on together, that's fine.
We bring you Chris Kyle. You bring us Jesse. Let's do this.
That's fair.
Okay, I just don't think Jesse
In a cage. What?
I'm just trying to keep it from the public eye.
Right. Chris doesn't want
it.
Chris doesn't want a 3-ring circus.
Hold on,
this
Alex.
thing.
Is, Chris, do you have audio Skype? Because the only thing that works from where he's at in the Baja is audio Skype to Skype. There's no phone lines, nothing. So I can. Look, I'll just send Jesse an email, and then I'll see if I can give you his Skype ID. I just need some way to give that to Mr. Kyle.
I
we'll
do not have Skype.
We'll get it done off air. You don't want to give it on the air. We'll do it off air. That's easy. We'll just
one more.
Chris, just stay on hold when we finish and talk to our guy.
One more question for Alex Jones. I don't see the upside of Chris Kyle telling this story, considering his career in the military, and considering his new business there. Why would he take this chance and put this crazy lie out there?
Look, all I know is his book was already getting quite a bit of attention, but I mean, he got like 3 or 4 times the attention, and of course, it did kind of distract in a way, but he did get a ton of attention out of this.
Yeah, it sold a lot of books. We know that, but in the end, okay, you sell a lot of books, but you destroy your military career.
Well, I know this. That is what's happening, because I've looked at the different SEAL websites and stuff. They're all mad and saying, even if this is true, and they're all saying they didn't hear of it happening and they think they would have, that this makes it look like SEALs are all talking crap about each other. And it just makes the SEALs, I mean, even if you believe Ventura said that, it makes it horrible that he'd say lose some, and it makes it horrible that Chris Kyle would talk about it.
But I can tell by the way you're talking, this Chris is not the way you thought, like you originally might have interpreted him. And I think that you're seeing he's a lot more of a real and believable guy.
Yeah, I mean, in the clips I've seen, especially on your show, I mean, he came off as kind of scripted on O'Reilly, and I see what you're saying, as he probably was nervous and so was just thinking about what he was going to say. And because I'm in the media so much, so are you guys. You almost forget you're even on air. It's like the opposite problem. You forget you're on air.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I got butterflies like I did 16 years ago. and then at the same time, when I saw him on your show, he just seemed kind of like smirky and arrogant, and like it was real funny. And now he doesn't sound like that. So I mean, it does sound different.
Alex, could you meet Chris maybe 1,000 yards south of the Stratosphere Hotel in Vegas? Yeah, he'll send you a message.
Hey, by the way, I'm from Texas too, and I've shot a deer at 1,000 yards. I haven't shot an Iraqi at 2,600.
Yeah. Did the deer have a grenade?
700, 308. I
doubt
can
it.
shoot deer at 1,000 yards all day long.
You're all man, Alex.
Well, I'm not a Bronco rider. I mean, I didn't do it professionally like Kyle, but I have. I did work for a large animal vet for a couple of years, and I've run the electric dehorners and the hot shots, and I've inoculated 1,000 cows in one day.
All right, I think we're good, but we appreciate you guys.
Cow arms. Laying that.
We appreciate you both coming on, and Chris, we'll talk to you off air for a second.
Yeah, we're in a quandary, sir.
I believe Chris.
I believe Chris.
I think that hey, look, they had a good discussion, and Chris explained himself.
Yeah.
And all right, fair enough.
And Alex, officially, you believe Jesse?
Folks should go to Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com and watch the full interview at Infowars.com and see who you believe. Yes, I believe Jesse, but here's the deal, Chris. I guess I can contact your publisher and try to get your contact so I can put you in touch with Jesse?
Definitely.
Okay, well then I'll just tell your publisher to who should I contact with the publisher?
William Morrow.
No, but they're going to be getting so many calls. Just
Wait, do it off air because you're going to have a bunch of names flying around.
Yeah.
We'll get it to you off air. The real name from Chris.
Yeah, I think it might be Ted Scheckler.
Well, whatever we do,
yeah,
we
it's
need
Ted
to
Scheckler,
defuse
Alex.
the situation because this is definitely turning into a mess.
All right, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we do it all together though. We do it all together, nice.
Alex, thank you for coming on.
You bet. Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
All right,
And,
Alex,
Chris.
enjoy the boneyard. All right.
Yes, appreciate that. And Chris, if you're not going to be in Phoenix January 27th and 28th when I'm working in Tempe, I meant to say Tempe at the Improv, talk to our guy off the air and give him your info.
And if he's not going to be in Cleveland, because I'll be at the Improv that weekend,
yeah,
then he can come to that show.
Love the plugs.
Chris, you created a lot of talk there, sir.
Yes, man. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me, guys.
I don't see why you would lie about this one. to be
I don't
quite
either.
honest with you.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, when are these guys coming forward? You think the witnesses?
They're starting to now. They're already talking to other people, getting it all set up, and they're getting them all together.
Can we help in that way, or how are you guys going to do it? Because you got to get it to the media somehow.
That's what we're trying to figure out the best way to do this. That way, I'm trying to avoid a three-ring circus. I'm trying not to defame Mr. Ventura and, kind of trying to knock the legs out from him. I'm just trying to get all the guys together. I gave them the contact person of who they need to get in hold of and give their story, and then trying to figure out the best way to come out with this so it doesn't look like, this thing continues on and we're just here to bash him. We just want this thing to end and go away.
All right, there you go. Thank you,
Here
Chris.
you go.
We
All
appreciate you calling in today.
Take care, buddy. We'll talk to you off air.
Thanks, man.
All right, Chris,
thanks a lot.
I'm putting you on hold. Hold on. Wow.
It's good.
Wow, that's cool.
I think Alex, hearing him talk, knows that this guy is not a bullshitter.
Exactly.
He ain't going to throw his friend under the bus, but you can listen to Chris Kyle. and
Yeah,
know
he's in one of those positions where he can't throw his.
Yeah,
friend
that was
under the
that was his.
You hear that, Alex?
Yes, I'm sitting here.
You heard that, right? You now believe Chris Kyle after you heard him on our show.
Well, I think he's more believable.
No, I think. Listen.
Where'd he go?
Oh no!
In the first interview, he seems concerned.
Hello.
Situation. I just think this whole thing.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I even on air? Because I hear the phone going on and off here. Or
Well,
you guys?
Are you clicking off because I'm hearing half what you're saying?
Yeah, get a better phone. It's not our problem.
No, I'm sitting right here.
It's psyops.
So I'm sitting right here. Psyops is going on. They don't want what you have to say on the air for some
No,
reason.
I don't think that's what's happening. When I said
I don't think that's what's happening. You give such a proper response. No, I don't think that's what's happening.
I don't think. Au contraire.
Infowars.com.
Infowars.com. All right, Alex.
Enjoy your day,
All
sir.
right, Alex.
I believe Jesse Ventura, and it's all going to come out.
Hey,
All
right.
We'll see.
by the way, Ron Paul, brother.
Hey, I love Ron Paul, and
That's the one thing we have in common, sir. Ron Paul.
Yeah, I support Ron Paul too.
But that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Now go do something. We
Yes.
got a radio
Go
show
be
to
on the
continue.
radio.
Listen, did I tell you guys about the website Infowars.com?
You have not mentioned that.
You got to be at the Improv.
Yes.
Yeah.
You plug the Improv for me and Florentine, and I'll plug your website on the
Listen,
Boneyard.
Can I get you guys on my radio show to talk about all this?
No.
I would do it.
We got our own show. Why would I do your show? We got our show.
But in case you haven't noticed, I have the #1 alternative news website. It only gets 2 million visitors a day.
Oh,
well, that's
Infowars.com is big, pal.
Alex, I got to
why
be
didn't
honest.
why didn't you put our video up there on
I'm on
Infowars?
over 100 AM and FMs. I mean, I'm a pretty big radio host.
But why didn't you put our video on Infowars.com? You only put the O'Reilly one on, I think.
Because I personally wasn't trying to make a big deal out of this, and then I saw the O'Reilly thing, and I'm like, crap, I better get a hold of Ventura. And then once I got a hold of him, I mean, if he's lying, he's an Academy Award, actor.
Yeah. And also, Alex, can we break this down? We're a bunch of radio guys. Jesse's a little kooky, right?
Say that again?
He's a little kooky.
Who, Ventura?
Come on, let's be honest with each other. We're just hanging out in a bar, a bunch of radio guys, no mics. He's a little kooky, right?
No, Ventura is 100% real and doesn't care.
Except for his
how his
20
hair
years
looks
of
or
wrestling.
any of it.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time with Jesse in the last 6 years or so.
Yeah.
I've known him for about 7 years, and I'm telling you, he is the real deal, and he's been waking up to a lot of issues, and he's a really nice guy, and his wife's really nice. And I always see him go up and thank veterans and people, and I don't believe he said that about
All right.
the Navy SEALs.
But is he a little paranoid? In the Jesse Ventura?
Well, I mean, I think if he was paranoid, he'd be afraid to go out and do his TV show and stuff. But I would say, I'll tell you when Ventura really woke up. He'd seen my films, we talked and stuff, but then he went to Harvard with that fellowship and had a private dinner with McNamara after he saw McNamara give a speech there, the former Secretary of Defense, admitting the government staged the Gulf of Tonkin attack on our ships to get us into Vietnam. And Ventura totally had argued with me and others and said there's no way the government stages stuff. And his whole world came crashing down at that point, and he became very untrusting and is now read. I mean, my God, he probably reads 2 or 3 books a week just on politics and is obsessed with it now.
Do you think, Alex, to interrupt, do you think what makes sense what you're saying? Like, because when you have something shattered for you, isn't it possible that he has this image shattered, so he goes so far in the other direction?
Yeah, now everything is a conspiracy.
And almost looks at things that did happen a certain way as a conspiracy.
Well, that is a danger for anybody that wakes up and says, well, my parents told me Santa Claus was real, but now I found out he's not.
Well, relax on that.
Yeah, what do you mean he's not?
Yeah.
I know, I've sat on his lap and cleaned off my bottom.
Alex, we'll promote Infowars.com as long as you put our video up there.
Okay, listen, guys, I'm just joking around about the Infowars.com.
That's fine.
No,
it's a big site.
No, but seriously.
We understand.
seriously,
We understand promoting our shit. We're all in agreement there.
Well, I tell you what, I'll plug your website today and tell them that this interview's posted up there.
Okay, buddy.
Fair enough, Alex.
But I mean, seriously, listen. I'm telling you, Ventura is anguished by this and completely flummoxed. And again, he would not say the thing about you deserve to lose a few men. I mean, that is crazy. And he also made the point, if he would have said something like that, he would have been attacked and thrown out of the bar. I mean,
No, I guess not. I guess we're hearing it happen on the sidewalk, but there were witnesses, and Chris Kyle's getting those witnesses together. That's what we learned today, because he's finally had it, because his name's at stake. So he's like, well, I got some guys that are willing to come forward now.
Yeah,
so we'll see what they have to say.
His buddies better make damn sure, because let me tell you something. If Jesse Ventura is anything, he's somebody who will go after you with lawyers. Vince McMahon, TSA. I mean, and believe me, he is lawyering up. So I mean, listen. Believe me, he wouldn't be flipping out, getting ready for all of his depositions, you name it. I mean, let me tell you, this is a quandary because Kyle didn't come off very credible, I thought, in the interview the other day. Didn't come off credible on O'Reilly. He does sound like he's paying attention now. And you know what? This is a circus. This is ridiculous. There's about to start a war with Iran. The economy is imploding. They clearly stole Iowa from Ron Paul. That even came out in mainstream news. New Hampshire is today. All of this stuff is going on, and we're talking about Jesse Ventura and Chris Kyle, who are supposed to be in a fraternity, a band of brothers. And the whole thing is disgusting and nasty, and I'm just glad that you guys, had me on here to discuss it.
I will say this.
Thanks, Alex.
Ron Paul is going to get killed up in New Hampshire. I mean, that's Mitt Romney country. But I do think that
He's gonna
Romney
lose.
stinks. Of course, I mean metaphorically in an election. No, not physically. Mitt Romney stinks, and I think Rick Santorum is a twat. So go Ron Paul. That we agree on. All right, man. Take care.
And go Boneyard.
Go Boneyard and Ron Paul.
Can I hear a little bit more vintage Motorhead? You've been playing too much of the new stuff.
All right, I'll play something for tonight's show.
What is your favorite Motorhead song, if we had to ask Alex?
Well, it's got to be.
That's the one thing I really wanted to hear. I want to know how deep he goes.
Anyone didn't see that coming.
I know, I saw it coming, but I really want to.
I know, but
if he would have said, like, the chase is better than the catch, I'm like, this fucking guy knows his shit.
Now he rocks.
Talking to him, though, it's hard not to enjoy Alex.
I like him from an entertainment standpoint.
He's good at what he does, I guess.
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says, but
yeah.
You're listening to Dopey and Agony.
Ah, yes.
All these years, I mean, the Dopey's the easy one.
Dopey and Anthony. Right.
They've gone with Dopey and Ain't Funny over the years. Dopey
Anus and Anthony.
Anus and Anthony. What else?
Opie and Dopey. Dopey and
Oh,
Anthony.
yeah, Opie. Yeah, Opie and Dopey. I've never heard Dopey and Agony.
Dopey and Ain't Funny.
Have you ever heard?
I did that.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie
Never
and
heard of that
Anthony.
one.
Opie and Anthony.
Well, a guy online is calling us Dopey and Agony.
I like that one. That's a new one.
And there was no doubt in my mind I had to tweet these 2 videos late last night because usually I blow off like haters like this.
Yeah.
But this guy, I'm convinced, has no idea who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
He got involved in our world because of the Jesse Ventura, Chris Kyle controversy that's continuing to grow.
Yeah.
So decided he had to make one of his fucking videos.
Yeah.
And tell the world how disgusted he is with Dopey and Agony.
And he's obviously a Jesse Ventura conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that believes World Trade Center was taken down with controlled explosions and shit like that. So he's one of those guys. The news, some of the stories that were out, of course, Chris Kyle, the sniper, saying he punched Jesse Ventura in the face at a seal bar for some shit that Jesse said. That got out. Of course, we take Chris Kyle's side. It gets out there, and this guy saw that, and all of a sudden we're assholes.
Yeah, exactly. And where we're at with that whole thing, then Alex Jones got Jesse Ventura on his show. Jesse said it never fucking happened.
Yeah.
So then we said, all right, let's get Chris Kyle back on the phone, which we did yesterday. He said it absolutely happened. And the Blaze, Stunt Brain is working for the Blaze.
Yeah.
He put the whole audio up on the Blaze, and he wrote me late last night saying, holy fuck, this thing is doing really well. And this thing is not going away. Because now we got Chris Kyle saying he absolutely punched Jesse. Jesse saying it absolutely didn't happen. So that's where we're at today.
And this
in a quandary. And now,
this lunatic, where I don't know where he's from because his accent is just, it's half retard, half somewhere.
Well, one guy said, I'm not sure if he's Irish or from Minnesota. That made me laugh all fucking night. The people commenting on these videos have been just fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
One guy congratulated us because, we're part of the military.
We're agents for the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, so one guy tweeted me and said, "Congratulations on your promotion."
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. An agent. He goes into some of the World Trade Center stuff.
Sure.
It's just ridiculous. And this morning, I woke up a little early this morning, and couldn't get back to sleep, so I was watching the Smithsonian Channel. I think it was that, and or maybe Nat Geo. They had demolition teams, and I watched like 2 shows of how they were taking down certain buildings and structures at Cape Kennedy. And it's really an amazing thing to watch them take these buildings down when there's other shit around it, and they got to make sure it falls in the proper place. And when you watch those shows and see the weeks of work that goes into the preparation of setting up a building to be imploded, actually, and fall in a certain spot, for anybody to say that was done at the Trade Center is fucking moronic. The way they have to cut the beams. There was something like 600 beams in this smaller building, obviously a lot smaller than the Trade Center. 600 beams had to be what they call box cut with oxyacetylene torches, cutting slots in every single beam to put shape charges on the I-beams so it comes down in a certain way. And the cables, the fucking primer cord, the shit that's running through this. It's an amazing display of engineering.
It's frustrating. You got to live in the same world as these dummies.
You don't do it in a day where they said they told employees not to show up on a certain day where they could do all this. Oh, really? You know, all the secretaries and people working in the Trade Center and the maintenance crews and everything took a day off so they could do a month's worth of work in one day or even a week, whatever it was. It's just so
as time
ludicrous.
goes by, you got more and more people jumping on this bandwagon.
Oh, I know.
Believing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
That's how these conspiracies grow.
It's so retarded.
And get more popular. You need time to go by.
I'm saying don't even look at the World Trade Center version of it. Look at any version of what it takes to implode a vacant, abandoned building.
Right.
And you tell me how that is done in a building, one of the biggest buildings in the world, where people are working.
Right.
The best way to do it, though, is to get a bunch of people to karate kick it on one side at the same time.
Well, that I haven't checked into, but I'm sure it could be done.
Buckles.
Yeah.
Well,
buckles.
Let's get into this guy's videos because we're busy. We got Michael Clark Duncan coming in a mere half hour.
Yes.
So I want to try to squeeze this in. This is the first video the guy made. It's entitled Navy SEAL Sharpshooter Chris Kyle Punched Jesse Ventura Claims on Opie and Anthony. Okay, what's this guy's name? Do we even know?
His YouTube name.
I called him Aging Agent Smith. He looks like Mr. Anderson, or he looks a little like Kiefer Sutherland,
right?
In the future.
And people were asking me, "Why are you giving a guy like this attention?" The guy made me howl.
Yeah. It's just because he's funny.
So I figure our listeners would love to check this out.
Sure.
And then I'm thinking, yeah, we'll play it on the air as well. Give him all the attention he wants.
Yes.
He's a nut job.
And his YouTube
You're about to
name
hear
is
a nut job.
Beautiful Girl by Dana.
Ew. What's
Is
that
his
about?
name? I hate.
Very strange.
Ew. Wonder what he's up
I
to
almost
when
said
he's not making his little YouTube videos.
I almost said I hate my name Dana, then realized it was a friend of mine. Whose organization I enjoy. So I shouldn't say
You
that.
know. Here we go.
So the Opie and Anthony show, this is, I didn't know how to classify these guys.
Wait,
They
somebody's
get this
Scottish.
name-
Scottish or Irish, well, I think.
Or
these guys. I don't think he's British.
Or according to one of the guys that tweeted last night, he might be from Minnesota.
Because he's saying, hey, these guys, you're Canadian. That makes...
Well, someone says a few people said Canada because he went with about.
Maybe if he's from the Knights of St. Andrews.
I don't know. The accent's all over the place. Maybe he's from Scotland originally, but he lives in Canada.
I don't know. And then he got kicked in the mouth with a horse.
And he went through Minnesota and stopped there for a little while. Here, let's go.
I hate his sweater. It's like Alex Rieger.
I know. Someone said it's the Mr. Roper sweater.
Oh, yeah. You should be dancing
Oh, it
with
was
a plunger.
E-Rock. Sorry, E-Rock. And I even commented that was a good tweet. Yeah, E-Rock tweeted that last night. All right, let's go.
He's Sealander, and they literally get down and lick his ass the whole time. So they were baiting him on, is what they were doing. And this guy claims he sucker punched Jesse Ventura
We're
because
masturbators.
Jesse Ventura was upsetting family at a funeral for a Navy SEAL. But yet, at the end of the conversation, he says, you know, I had to blast editor because I knew by hitting him the cops were watching us, and yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada. Love that episode.
Look, I grew up, there was no such thing as TV or radio where I was told I ran a trap line, everything I ate I shot, or I got out of the ocean.
Oh, everything.
So I know how to read people, because that's what we done back then. We talked to people. We didn't have the internet.
If you're hunting and fishing, you're not really talking
No.
to anyone. You're by yourself.
He's talking to the
mostly.
fish.
Right.
He's the old man in the sea. The old dope in the sea.
You might have a few hunting buddies with you, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're really not seeing a lot of people in the woods.
Everything he
or
got,
in a boat.
he shot it or got it out of the ocean.
I fucking love this guy.
There's a lot of fucking just zeros out there. A lot of zilches. And YouTube really brings them out.
Oh, yeah.
They
It's
have
their
a
only
forum, a place to
it's their
talk.
forum, finally.
Wow. It becomes very entertaining for
Oh, yeah.
us.
Or anything. So you you talked to about 40 people every day, and that guy he smells of lies. Literally smells of lies.
As opposed to, could you pause it for a minute? As opposed to Jesse Ventura, who, if you watch his dopey-ass conspiracy show in the past, everything on there is full of shit. His sources are these people that are trying to make like they're secret agents, and they're just fucking actors or something. He comes up with these scenarios as to why he can't get in a certain facility, and it's all horse shit. That's the guy. That's the truth, though. That's what your years of talking to fish and moose fucking told you over the years, you dork.
Your Mr. Roper sweater.
Yeah.
He's awful, this guy.
I love him.
You'll never win a logical argument with him because he's just fucking...
No,
he's
no
a
talking
loon.
to this guy.
He's a lunatic.
Crazy man.
Back up slightly there, Sam, and start it up again. There we go.
Of lies. Literally smells of lies. But Opie and Anthony, just shitheads.
Oh.
You know, they had Louis C.K. on their show, and they threw him under the bus immediately because he asked Donald Rumsfeld, was he a lizard? I mean, he was just trying to get a laugh.
Oh, really?
These
Hold on,
guys-
hold on.
Pause.
Wait, man. I want to apologize right now to Louis C.K. because I didn't know he was going for a laugh. And if you listen to that, you could definitely tell I was very angry with Louis.
Wait, so what happened?
What an
How did we
asshole.
throw Louis under the bus? We
Well,
didn't realize
because-
that he was just going for a laugh and decided
Right.
to push the agenda?
Yes, and I was totally defending Donald Rumsfeld
Do you realize
during that instead of him.
Do you realize that Anthony was trying to do a real interview with Donald Rumsfeld that day, and Louis decided to have fun?
What I was
doing was called keeping Donnie on the phone so Louis can fuck with Donald Rumsfeld.
And talk about how he might be a lizard.
Exactly. It was hilarious. But if he did that without an input of somebody that was actually talking to him about his book and everything, he would have hung up. And we wouldn't have had that Louis C.K. magic of calling Donald Rumsfeld a lizard or asking if he's an alien. It's called good cop, bad cop. We've done it for years on this show. But this idiot, like Opie said, doesn't know this show or anything and assume we were throwing Louis under the bus.
That's why this guy's the greatest.
God.
Canada has checked in today.
Oh, Canada is in the hizzy.
1, 2, 3, 4 phone calls from Canada. They're all saying he's from Newfoundland.
A Newfie?
He's a Newfie.
Fucking Newfie. That's the N-word up in Canada, by the way. Fucking Newfie.
Let's go to Matt to make this official. Matt, what are you saying there, sir?
It's Mark.
All right, what's up, Mark?
It's Mark.
Yeah, he's definitely Newfoundlander. I'm married to one, and they sound identical.
Sound just like that, huh?
Except mine's a girl. That's a guy.
Oh. Well, why does he sound like he's from Scotland, like Jimmy's saying?
They're descendants from Scotland and Ireland.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Scotland and Ireland.
I think we got
a cheap fuck, I bet, right?
Derek, you're backing that up?
Yes, sir.
Back
He's
that
a
shit up.
He's a Newfie. All right. Thank you, sir. There you go. Thank God for Canada today. Let's get back to the video.
Was he a lizard? I mean, he was just trying to get a laugh.
Wow.
We know that.
These guys are so anal. They're so anal that they have to be political lapdogs, cheerleaders, no matter what it is. That Navy SEAL, he killed, women and children. He even brags about it.
I'm sure he does.
But Anthony and Opie are in there, like little lizards licking his ass. It's absolutely disgusting.
He did a little licky thing.
And that's why they get the attention, because they're willing to get out there and lick boots, because that's what they do. You can just tell by their voices, this is all they've ever done is lick boots.
You can tell by voices from fishing and shooting.
Okay, that Navy SEAL, he's a bullshitter, plain and simple.
At least he was shooting people that were shooting back at him.
Piece. He's bragging about the 5 million orphans in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's bragging about the 4.5 million dead, how he had participated in this.
If it wasn't for the fucking American military, you fucking asshole Newfie shithead, your country would have been overrun by the communists back during the Cold War. You do-nothing fucker. Shut up, Canada. Lick our ass. Lick America's ass, Canada. You stupid mounted police. What are they going to do when MiGs are bombing your whole fucking shit country?
Who's bombing them?
The commies.
Oh,
back
MiGs.
in the old days. The MiGs. No, the MiGs.
Wait, but
with your fucking, with your a quarter of your country is even usable. The rest is an ice maker. They got a giant ice cube maker.
What are you doing, man? Canada loves us.
Ah, fuck this guy. I'm basing my entire opinion of Canada on this nut.
Let's keep it to Newfoundland. Is that how you say it?
Newfies.
Just say Newfies.
Yeah, Newfies.
Go after the Newfies.
All right.
Leave the rest of Canada alone.
Oh, Canada.
All right, let's go.
19,000 rapes in the military, 18 soldiers committing suicides in the streets every day, blasting depleted uranium all over that country. It's the most toxic wasteland on the planet right now.
Except for Newfoundland.
Fucking Anthony and Opie, degenerates, man.
Yeah.
Truly degenerates.
Thank you.
And
that should be our intro. That should be the last thing in our intro instead of Shatner.
Fuck
Opie and Anthony, degenerates. Truly degenerates.
Yeah, let's work that audio
That's
into
funny.
the open.
That's hilarious.
Congratulations to this guy. You made our open.
Yeah, I like it.
It's an honor. So that was the video he put out right away after Chris Kyle was on our show.
There's more.
And then he put out
yeah.
He's obsessed with us.
He seems a little drunker in the next one.
Wait.
Yeah,
Do you
this
know
one gets way better because he calls us dopey and agony.
Do you know what I love that he said in that last one, too? These shitheads. Opie and Anthony, these shitheads. It was that deliciousness of that word in his mouth.
It's not the reaction I guess he was going for because I'm howling.
Yeah, I understand hating this guy, but yeah, he's
I don't
such
hate
a
him.
and I'm saying to Anthony, he's such
I
a
know.
dude. He's such a Mr. Drummond looking bag of shit.
Oh, he is. Yes, Mr. Drummond.
Should be adopting two little poor black children.
Go ahead.
It's terrible.
The new video, which he put up, I guess, 2 days ago, the Opie and Anthony show breeds violent, dangerous extremism.
As opposed to Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Of
guy's
course.
a goose.
Opie and Agony show, their followers.
Oh, and look at all the, well, you can't see it out there in Radioland, but look at all the fucking edits.
Yeah,
this
it's
guy was
very
at this
edited.
for a while, man.
Yeah, he cut this up.
Yeah.
He must have said some stupid things.
Yeah, or something that made sense.
Yeah, maybe that's
You know,
it.
really, Jesse Ventura is a shithead who likes to hear himself talk. I better cut that out. I better not leave that in.
I think his accent makes this so
Yeah.
much fun to listen to.
That's my favorite part. Opie and Anthony, these shitheads.
Shitheads.
Let's go. The second video.
The Opie and Agony show, their followers are violent extremists. That's what these people are. I done a quick video about Opie and Agony show having Chris Kyle on there claiming he punched out Jesse Ventura. Now that was thoroughly debunked. Of course, if you look at it 5 years ago, and it still never come out until you get on the show.
Pause that real quick. You know what I love? That if you look in the background, of course, this chair next to him is empty. Of course it is.
Yeah.
But it's against the fucking curtain to keep the light out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a towel just hanging on the
is it
button.
a towel? It's either a towel or a drape. He's got it.
This
pressed.
guy doesn't like daylight.
No, not at all.
No.
Oh, right. The chair is pressed against there to keep the light from coming in.
Keep the light from coming in.
So washing his camera
He
out.
won't ruin his production.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Years ago, and it still never come out until you get on the show and have to drag it out of a guy who won't look him in the eyes or look at the camera. It was pretty obvious what was going on. But now that it's been thoroughly debunked, like you say, Jesse Ventura come out, thoroughly debunked it, and is going to have this guy charged with slander. And is going to try to go after the Opie and Agony show. This is kind of what that video is about. The Opie and Agony show, their mentality. It's only on their videos where you find, like on my video, you'll find people saying they want to smash your teeth out, keep calling you the C word. They use every derogatory
Canadian?
term on the planet, but they can't argue or debate. They're violent. Opie and Agony breeds violence, and you see this consistently with anybody who disagrees with the Opie and Agony show at all.
Agony.
But dangerous, mindless zombies. They're probably using a PR firm on top of that. But it's most likely these guys themselves.
PR firm.
I know. What does he think? That this show is organized?
Yeah, really, a PR firm.
They
We
probably
wish.
have after-show meetings and do show prep. This guy does not know what the fuck he's talking
But they
about.
have a marketing department
Yeah.
That was the
for
only
the show.
That was the only part of the video that made me sad.
Yeah.
Oh, PR department. That would
Yeah.
be nice.
These guys
Damn.
probably have a good relationship with management.
Yeah.
And
Our PR department is me in this case, fucking writing stunt brain and going, hey, I might have something for you. 'Cause these dopes down the hall they haven't done anything with this story. This fucking thing is growing, and I guess we have a PR department at the company, and they haven't done shit.
yeah,
What are they doing?
nothing.
Stunt Brain said, holy shit, get me the audio. That was amazing radio yesterday. And then wrote me last night and said 8 hours later, it's the #1 story on the Blaze still. And these idiots down the hall don't get that?
The Blaze.
Oh, the Blaze.
Bunch of lies.
They like fire.
Fucking lies.
The
The
Blaze.
Blaze.
It's a good jacket with an R on it.
Right. You got
Violence.
you got the secretaries, Gary and Rob. They had no idea that this might be good radio, so they had no idea to pass it on to PR. Then you got Blatter, who oversees Gary and Rob. He didn't do
Blubber.
anything. And then
Blubber.
Greenstein, who we haven't seen in over a month, and I got to talk to him about the latches in the bathroom. That's where we're at today.
Who green mean? I was going to make up names for everybody like this guy.
Yeah.
Gary and Bob.
Yeah.
Just unfunny names that kind of sound like it. Mary and Rob, is he marrying himself? This guy rules.
I love him.
Steve Bader. See, because he's worse.
Yeah, he looks like Jughead. He always shakes his head. Jughead. Sometimes he closes his mouth and he squints his eyes and shakes his head disapprovingly. And you see Gary coming down the hall like an apparition. He looks like a screensaver with his little glasses just floating down the hall.
What a bunch of fucking wankers.
Yeah, it's a big giant jar of incompetence around here. We don't know what's going on. Club Soda Kenny's over there with his Miss Meanie glasses looking at the computer.
He's violent.
He's a big violent guy with $6.71 suits. His suits cost less than $7. And Sam over here, he's been on so many shows, we don't know if he's black or white. We just know he's got no talent.
And he's violent.
He's very violent.
Yeah. Hey.
Very violent. And his mother loves him too much.
Is PR working this story at all? Nothing, right?
Ask
Yeah, nothing.
them.
Of course not.
We gave it to him.
I know Jimmy was all about that a couple days ago, and they've done nothing, right?
Yeah, I said, Jimmy said that we should get it to Breitbart. Another lapdog in his in his entire organization of lapdogs, bootlicking Breitbart.
Bootlicking military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
Fucking puppets. What?
What's that in there? Looks like an e-boulder. That's the only thing I like about Dopey and Agony. They make fun of the fat kid behind the glass. Just sits there all day, does nothing. Does even less than this empty chair next to me.
His shits are violent.
They really are. They actually start coming out while he's mumbling down the hallway. And he has to sit on the toilet and he just pulls down his pants and they shoot into the toilet.
Very violently.
Much like the planes into the buildings, which will fill with dynamite.
Thermite paint comes rocketing out his arse.
Yeah. Brown thermite paint.
All right, let's go back to the video.
Zombies. They're probably using a PR firm on top of that.
I wish.
But it's most likely these guys themselves with YouTube accounts putting these threats out there because they're so small-minded. You can tell that by watching their show, and they haven't come out with a retraction about what they said about Jesse Ventura and apologized to Jesse Ventura.
What'll do?
And they won't, because they're intimidated by Jesse Ventura, and they hate him.
Oh, yeah?
They're intimidated.
Half right.
They can't debate, so all they can do is have anger.
Yep.
And that's what they're teaching
Yep.
people that fall for their gig.
Yep.
The Dopey and Agony show is a smart machine. You can't debate
We're just a
anything,
smart
right?
machine.
Like,
Dan.
you know, they come to my site and they start yelling about how they smack down the truthers. The top 15 stories of the Twin Towers can only crush 15 stories below it. That's the laws of physics, okay?
Oh, yeah, you're telling me the laws of
bodies,
physics.
no seats, no wings, tails, engines.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
Black boxes, no nothing.
Yeah, there was all kinds of
Recorded
fun plane shit.
worldwide in the media, except for a couple of debunking sites. It wasn't reported in the media, none of that.
Could you pause that? I'm making arguments that I heard in 2002 on some video done by a college guy who's been proven to be an asshole.
Yeah, an arse.
He's an arse. He's a complete arse.
But his face is jumping all over the place because there's so many edits.
Oh, edits like crazy.
He can't get his argument together.
This guy's the greatest. Michael J. Fox did my editing for me. And he just ran in with scissors and started cutting.
It doesn't acknowledge that a plane went into the building.
Right.
We have video of that.
No engines, no plane parts, no. Yeah, there was. There was an engine on a fucking street. Stop it.
And what
That's
about
the church?
All those phone calls to people and the messages from their loved ones. Well, I can't explain that, so I won't say it.
Yeah, I won't bring that up.
Yeah, I'll just continue my open-collared sweater shirt combination.
I want you to kill every golfer on the golf course.
The most offensive part of him is his brown curtain and his beige sweater and his brown chair. I like earth tones. You know, I find that earth tones are peaceful and not violent, like Dopey and Agony.
He loves earth tones.
What violent?
He really does.
Where do you get a colored shirt like that?
I don't know.
I've never seen that color
African-American
before.
shirt. Stop.
Oh, really? Oh.
Whoops.
I make my shirts drink out of a different water fountain than my white T-shirts.
Let's get back to this.
Except for a couple of debunking sites. It wasn't reported in the media, none of that. There's no bodies, no seats, no luggage, no wings, tails, engines, planes at the Pentagon, Flight 77 or Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The loved ones never got the bodies, never got to bury the bodies.
Yeah.
So they put memorials at those sites to represent the bodies. They got all the people
Rewind
killed.
1 second. I just want to hear him cough in the middle of his thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was half a laugh.
That's great.
The loved ones never got the bodies, never got to bury the bodies. So they put memorials at those sites to represent the bodies.
Represent the bodies. Represent the.
What a complete asshole this guy is.
I just knew we had to give this guy attention. I just knew it, man.
No wings, tails, engines, planes at the Pentagon, Flight 77 or Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The loved ones never got the bodies, never got to bury the bodies. So they put memorials at those sites to represent the bodies. They got all the people killed at the Pentagon, but they never got the bodies from the plane or the seats, luggage, wings, tails, engines, black boxes. And you got no physical proof, nobody can find that. It's not carried on any of the sites, and that's why 911 Truth is asking, where is this evidence, right? The greatest form of patriotism is dissent and to hold your government accountable.
Oh, is that it? Where'd you read that?
Stop quoting our people.
And then he has a fucking...
He has some 9/11, some Building 7.
And I'm not trying to give you a history lesson or nothing, but I want to bring it into context.
Yeah.
The Dopey and Agony show, they should be retracting this immediately. They're the ones who kicked all this off. And they go to Chris Kyle into saying that story. He bragged about it obviously before that, and they reminded him. They wanted him to confirm it on air because they wanted to make a sensational story, because that's what they do, right?
We are
Like,
sensational.
go to Louis C.K.'s and look up the Donald Rumsfeld video and listen to it, and you will hear them throw him under the bus repeatedly. And that was the first time we ever had him on the show. And he got him back on the show repeatedly, apparently after. But that was because
That was the first time we had
they
Louis
wanted
C.K.
to
on the
leech
show?
off his fame.
I'm amazed.
It's not because they. You see what they done with him in that video, you'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dopey and agony, though. But
Dopey and
every
agony.
time you make a video about these people or you criticize them, you're attacked viciously with threats of violence.
Tourette's
Like
of
smashing
violence?
my teeth in my last video there.
It's probably your webmaster.
He's an idiot.
He really is.
How are the comments on this video?
On this one?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he disabled comments, didn't
No, of
he?
course he did.
Or he has to
No,
approve
you can
them?
still comment.
Oh, okay, good.
There's a paragraph that just starts with, "Hey, asshole."
Don't you love the fact, though, that these truthers, every one of them is like just a boob?
Just a dumb lummox.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, man? There's not one of these guys that actually don't come off like a stark raving lunatic.
Just douches.
My favorite comment that I've read: "This guy has the balls to call out Dopey and Agony. I think he's a genius. I'm going to call SiriusXM now to cancel my subscription." Or something.
Hey, tags it with a little check.
Yeah, if you guys are going to make comments on this guy's videos, don't make them all idiotic chip remarks, because he's not going to know what that means. And
Oh.
What do you like, Browns or something?
Yeah.
You look like you're wearing duty.
Right. He wouldn't even know what that meant.
No, he'd probably go, they're putting TSS sounds like dynamite. That's the
Yeah.
sound a fuse makes when you light it. It's just, they put some funny, he probably light chip. Some of the comments with the assumptions are really funny and well thought out. But
Yeah.
aside from that, it's really a bunch of drick.
That guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the sound of toxic gas being poured in.
Yeah, Chape Chiperson. I don't like him. He's a
Chape Chiperson.
Yes, I think he's a Swedish diplomat. Chape Chiperson. He's a big spy. He was in Tinker Tinker Run, soldier, hat wearer, spy, store owner, shopkeeper. Longest title in movie history. Tinker, soldier, dancer, tap dancer, hugger, spy.
Spy. All right, let's continue.
And constantly going after me in a derogatory term. How could you keep a secret like that? A bar brawl where he got knocked out. There's no police reports or anything like
Can you
that.
pause that?
whatsoever.
Apparently, I think that the entire U.S. government can keep the bringing down of the tower as a secret. And but I don't think that Jesse Ventura getting punched in his riffraff face can be kept under wraps by 10 Navy SEALs. I'm an inconsistent dumb cunt.
That's right.
Apparently, I think that the entire military can conspire to knock down the buildings and to cover it up and to hide all the bodies and to give false information to the families. But I don't think that Jesse Ventura getting socked in his big, fat, larger-than-life head can be kept a secret by guys in the military whose whole thing is to keep secrets. God, I'm a cunt. I'm such a cunt. I should just put on brown and call myself a cunt.
Fuck. Bravo.
And Jesse is going after that guy now. And is going to expose all of this. So that's going to come out soon.
Yep.
But the media doesn't want to cover it because that's going to give Jesse exposure, and because Jesse Ventura had made documentaries on Truth Network, was it, I believe, about 911 and the Pentagon and stuff like that. He's being attacked and they're trying to discredit him. Yeah?
Yeah.
Looking at, and he done that on purpose. They knew it was bullshit. They carried through with it. They sensationalized it on purpose. And I can guarantee you, payback is coming.
Uh-oh.
Navy SEALs right now are looking up their schedules to see where they might be able to run into these little Shirley and lapdogs.
You pause that? Because that's what Navy SEALs do when they want to go on a mission. They have to check their eye calendar and see where they're supposed to be. They look up their little schedule. That's how they got Bin Laden. They all realized they were going to be in Pakistan the same night.
No,
Hey, wait, I can't go. And you have a dentist appointment. Sorry, guys.
I think they're looking up our calendars.
See where we're going to be.
Yeah, we all know Jim Norton's going to be at Tempe at the Improv 27th and 28th. He'll be doing the Antisocial Network.
I'm sure you're hoping the Navy SEAls come out to your show.
Would love that.
Of course.
Some kind of violence.
Let's try to get through this video because
that a threat?
Michael Clark Duncan is here.
See, Anthony and Opie, or Dopey and Agony, whatever you want to call these people.
Dopey and Agony.
They're not going to tell you about 18 suicides in the military every single day. Today, 18 soldiers died on the streets, homeless. But they'll sensationalize that one guy who claims he killed women and children. Because they were Al-Qaeda in his eyes, basically. They loved that. They were like little lizards licking at their butts. That's what they done.
Please do it again.
They wanted that story out there desperately.
Please do the lizard.
They despised Jesse Ventura because they didn't have the brains to argue with.
I use the same reptilian analogy for everything I'm talking about.
Yes.
When my last girlfriend left me, of course she did. I said, "What are you slinking out of here like a lizard or something?"
Hey, what are you, some kind of a gecko?
Yeah, just because I ejaculate very quickly like a lizard tail. I come so fast I'm like a lizard tongue. That's all he does. Lizard analogies.
Yeah, my banker's like some kind of iguana.
Yeah, it's green with envy like a lizard and chip.
With him and debate him like a normal radio host would do.
Wow.
Right? So he turned on Jesse during a live interview, just turned on him.
Yep.
And turned into a... The next several days, they raged on him.
Yep.
They weren't able to debate what he said.
Yep.
And like you say, top 15 stories of the Twin Towers can only crush 15 stories below it, and it runs out of energy.
Ugh.
That's the laws of physics. You can't suspend that.
What?
But Opie and Dopey and Agony,
Three of us now.
their followers are violent extremists. That's what these people
Violent
are.
extremists.
The Dopey and Agony show, they breed violent extremists to attack people that want to question questionable stories.
Questionable questions.
Millions to lives. And sensationalize.
Think about a dress.
Going in somewhere where there's 19,000 rapes a year, 18 suicides. That's all well documented.
It's going to be more suicides, people watching this.
But they want to come in and smash my teeth because I dare question.
No one wants to smash your teeth, sir.
How dare you question the Dopey and Agony show?
How dare you?
Get used to it, man. I'm not going away, and there's a lot of people that could just
Please don't go away.
Yeah.
Are not going to be marginalized by cheerleading lapdogs for military industrial machine.
Yes.
Soon,
His little
Back
cough.
up a little bit, a quarter of an inch. I got to hear it again.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I love when he coughs through it.
Oh, boy.
I was
What
getting
is
a creep.
What do you think that cough's about?
I don't know.
No.
I hope it's tuberculosis.
Maybe it's the AIDS.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been laying there just. All right, good.
lapdogs for military industrial machine. Any day soon, I can take care.
Take care.
Yeah.
Aye.
I got a cough and the hiccups at the same time. I can't control myself on video.
It's easy to reach out on YouTube and
Love them.
throw your barbs.
We might have a new video from the dude from the Newfie. Remember this guy?
Of course, we'd forget him.
He's calling us what? Bootlickers and lizards and
Shitheads.
shitheads.
Something like that.
He's accusing us of giving him Tourette's. Is there a new video by this guy?
What kind of Tourette's?
I don't know.
It's just plain goofy.
Is there a new video by the guy here? Wow.
I swear, I do have an eyeball headache. I got eyeball headache right now.
Oh, here we go.
What do you mean? Is this a new one?
Yeah.
Oh, turn it towards me, Travis. I'll break your
Mr.
fingers.
Anderson.
Oh my God! He dressed in a suit for this one.
Oh, he's ripping me off.
Of course, he's wearing beige too.
Holy fuck.
Beige.
All
Love
right.
him.
Are we ready to do
Where's
this?
beige?
I move it back. Here we go. Do we have to explain this guy?
Jerk off.
An asshole.
Explained.
Jesse Ventura, Chris Kyle, controversy that continues because Chris Kyle's still saying he punched out Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura's denying it.
He's a Jesse fanboy who hates us now because we make fun of Jesse.
And we've embraced this hater because there's something about him that we just enjoy.
He's
the way he says shit.
He's utterly valueless.
As he say shitheads.
Yeah. Opie and Anthony, these shitheads.
Yeah, he's got some kind of a Scottish Canadian accent.
The description for this video is
He's a.
What's the description?
Let's just play it. He's a terrible bore.
Yeah,
Opie and Anthony gave me Tourette's is the name of this video.
Oh, what's he doing now?
ready?
Yeah.
All right.
These are vultures, and they will feed off the most helpless of society. Yeah. That's what the Opie and Anthony does. If they were in the military, they would be put up in the front line without no bullets just to get rid of them. That's how useless these people
Cannon
are.
fodder. Pause that for a second.
There's probably going to be a bit of parts.
And that's not uncomfortable at all. When I'm here, 10 seconds in, I use an analogy about them being shot and murdered.
Yeah.
That's not uncomfortable for anybody to hear.
That's good. Good.
Yeah. This is how all wackos are. We write things that kind of foretell what we're going to do.
We'll keep this for the old pistol license renewal.
Oh, yeah.
That's how useless these people are. Okay. There's probably going to be a bit of pirates language in this one, folks, so... Because after about 9 hours of watching the Dopey and Agony show, I got fucking Tourette's.
9
I probably
hours?
can never get rid of it. That was unbelievable. I watched like 5 hours of these guys, and life became meaningless and hopeless immediately.
Right.
Well, the show's everything designed.
Hated everything. That was beautiful. I mean, I despised it. That's the power of radio, folks. Incredible. You know, that's why I like, there's a video I put up there earlier today of a good friend of mine, and I had some friends by, and we were playing guitar and singing, and I done it on purpose because I had to get away from this Opie and Dopey routine and that human fucking waste of Jim Norton.
Yay!
What the fuck is that to me?
Oh, finally.
Jim Norton, you know, he's kind of like, if I was asked to describe that guy, I would put him down as a vegetable, like eyes and a mouth. Somehow manages to dress himself every fucking day.
Yay!
Most likely it's in the most soiled clothes he could find from last
Pause
week.
that, please. I gonna say a lot of stuff, but I don't realize he's a sweater boy cutie.
Yes.
I don't realize he's...
Look at your sweater boy cutie. Don't give me that.
Sitting with Opie and Dunsey and sweater boy cutie. He's got his clean
Right.
T-shirt and his new cologne, and he's wearing his nice boxers, and he's got a gentleman's coat.
A gentleman's coat. Keeping him warm on those cold New York mornings.
That waste of space.
It's like a vegetable.
He's like a vegetable with eyes.
With eyes.
He
And a
dresses
mouth.
himself.
A mouth.
So he must have hands. I don't know why I just said eyes. How could he dress himself with eyes?
With eyes, you could undress someone with your eyes. You can't dress him with your eyes.
I undress Jesse Ventura when I see him.
Damn your eyes, man! Damn your eyes!
He's like a Daniel Day-Lewis. It's just a left foot with eyes. A vegetable in a left foot. No hands, just eyes. And a left foot creeping around.
He loves the attention, though, because he's got his best suit on.
Of course he
knows
does.
people are not watching his video.
I'm wearing a sharkskin suit. All right, please more.
I'm pretty sure he's too stupid to use a washing machine. Unless a condom comes out, he probably can't figure out how to use it, you know? That's how stupid these people are. I don't know how the fuck they can manage to feed themselves or even tie their own shoelaces every day, you know?
It's hard. Sometimes I eat my shoelaces.
Oh, this guy's coming up with great things of how dumb we are.
Yeah.
Hey, these guys probably can't even find a hat. I'll bet you they guys, I'm surprised they can even make their own toast and put marmalade on it in the morning. How many examples are you going to give? I'm going to give a whole bunch of examples of just things. I bet they can't even pull back their bedspread when there's a fire next door.
How do they turn their doorknob? How do you turn your fucking doorknob to leave your house?
I'm just sitting here with my chair keeping all the sunlight out so it doesn't wreck the production value.
I've gotten a bigger blanket to put over my window.
Underneath this blanket's a lot of clear pre-seminal fluid that I get when I'm watching Jesse Ventura talking. I put it over my lap like an Afghan.
I bet they can't even squeeze the toothpaste out onto the brush. The brush is sitting there and the toothpaste is all over the sink.
I bet if a lima bean fell, they couldn't even kick it into a cup like a little golf ball. I bet if a lima bean fell, they couldn't even scoop it up with a lima bean scooping apparatus.
They walk around in the dark because they can't even flick a light switch. It's impossible, a fucking retard.
I don't know how these guys even comb their hair. They're probably too stupid to pick up a comb and run it through their hair or over their eyeballs.
Nonetheless, use a Q-tap. Probably can't even use a fucking Q-tap.
These guys are just worthless. Opie and Dunsey. Opie and Turd Hattie. They're probably too stupid.
Always a hat with Jimmy.
Probably too stupid to even mix up tea with a tea mixing apparatus.
They probably go cream and sugar and just have it black because they don't know how to put in cream or sugar.
They don't even know how to use their cups at home. They probably just pour their coffee into their hands and scoop it up towards their mouth.
And just hope for the best.
Yeah, get their eyes all, and they're too dumb to go to the emergency room.
Opie, an incredible shithead.
And this human pile of marmalade, Jim Norton. I'm going to name food. And this strip steak with eyes and teeth, Jim Norton. And this piece of sweet potato pie with herpes, Jim Norton.
We have 7 minutes left of this video.
Oh, goody.
Also learning that he's from Southern England. Thank you, JD.
Is that where he is now?
England.
And he has a Twitter that we'll get into in a little
Oh, good.
But back to the latest video from this guy that really hates us.
Good.
See what I mean? I got Tourette's, literally, from listening to Opie and Anthony for about 9 hours. At one point there, I almost beat my dog to death. I was like, shut up, dog, or I'm going to kill you.
That's what I
And
call
I've
my
never said that
wife.
to my dog in my life.
I call my wife a dog.
Listening.
I was beating my dog to death. I was punching it right on the back hindquarters with both fists as my genitals were buried in his little backside. He was yelping for help and clawing at the window, but he couldn't find it because I have a curtain.
I was trying to watch the soccer game, and I had a nice steak out there, and my dog ate it.
all right.
So I kicked him in the fucking liver. I kicked him in the fucking liver, and he keeled over dead. He did. That's what I wish would happen to Opie and the shite head.
His little Jack Russell tail was flapping against my appendix scar as I punched his little hindquarters and held him with those little corn on the cob things.
Aye, it was quite the Donnybrook.
I drove my erection deep into his little barking, yelping buttocks, and I showed him who was boss. I'm wearing a shirt that the collar's a little too big for me. Apparently I've dropped a few pounds. Do a nice big collar for 1977.
Look at his lapels.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got my Tony Manero jacket on. I could get into any discotheque.
Please more.
Hours. At one point there, I almost beat my dog to death. I was like, shut up, dog, or I'm going to kill you.
Terrible.
And I've never said that to my dog in my life. But after listening to these subhumans, these anti-humans, these men, these are these...
Pause. Oh, no. I'm going to start writing things down because I run out after 2. These subhumans, these anti-humans. Oh, no, I'm going with the humans team. I can't think of a third thing. He stinks at giving examples.
These human growth hormones. Human.
These human league songs.
Humane society. Yeah. Stay on the road, stay off the moors.
These humans, delicious deli snacks.
Aye. The human fund.
These human rights violations. All right, go ahead.
To these subhumans, these anti-humans, these men, these are despicable.
I'm going to look down at what I've written, but try not to keep my eyes down so it doesn't look like I'm reading. Because I'm too stupid to realize if you hold it at camera level, your eyes are in the place they should be. So I'm going to leave it on me desk and just peruse what I've written while you're all staring at me eyelids. Because I'm a dumbbell. I'm a dumbbell with a giant shirt collar.
The lapels are huge.
If I jump out of a 40th floor window, I'll float to safety.
These are despicable.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, if you immerse yourself into that darkness, this cult of Opie and Anthony, it's like walking in a sewer for something you don't want and you can't use. These vultures, these anti-human parasites, they're out there feeding on your loved ones and getting them to feed on them. That's what they're all about, picking on the most vulnerable in society. These people are cowards.
Yes, Paul.
Like if they were...
Jesse Ventura's very vulnerable. They were picking on the poor, weak ex-Navy SEAL, ex-governor, ex-wrestler. They really pick on the weakest of the weak. What's next, Chuck Liddell? Who else are they going to pick on? Another Wakeland. Perhaps who? George Foreman? Other people that can't defend themselves. What are they going to do next? Go poke Lennox Lewis in the eyes? Are they going to kick Ronaldo, the soccer player, in his genitals? His uncircumcised genitals? They're picking at all these defenseless people, like Jesse Ventura.
The poor lad. Don't you know?
Getting them to feed on them.
Yeah.
That's what they're all about, picking on the most vulnerable in society. These people are cowards. Like, if they were in Iraq, they'd be hanging from a crane, okay? Or they'd be the towel boys at the local men's bathhouse. That's about
Bathhouse?
A bathhouse?
These people are parasites. Oh, you know, insects will lie in the desert for months, head buried in the sand, waiting for light to come in. They'll come in and they'll leech off of that in order to survive. That's what the Opie
I'm an
and
entomologist. Bugs in the desert.
These people are buttflies. They land under your skin and they hatch while you're talking to your friends.
It's amazing. They're like centipedes, just moseying around with a bunch of legs. Make no sense, guy.
Human centipedes. They've got one head in the asshole and another head in their asshole, and they're just eating shit and swallowing it.
They're feeding their listeners shat. The shat that comes out of him, like a human centipede. They're virtual stank bugs.
These people are giant hornets. They just fly around picking on bumblebees.
Jim Nothing Norton are like. That's how you describe these people in reality. The only rational thing that ever came out of their mouth was they supported Ron Paul, and I said to myself, well, gee, you know, maybe they got a bit of rationality left in them somewhere. But then, you know, I had time to think about this, especially yesterday when we were sitting around singing and having a really nice time here. I came to the realization all of a sudden, that's frightening! That's friggin' frightening! That's frightening that Opie and Anthony and Jim Nothing Norris are supporting Ron Paul. That means all those fucking lunatics that are licking their boots all the time might show up at a Ron Paul rally, and that could be used to demonize Ron Paul supporters. And that's what's happening, probably. They're being...
Way to take lemonade and big lemons. I want Ron Paul to win, but I don't want anybody supporting him. Only me and my singing friends.
Hey!
We're here having a little sing-off.
I don't want them back and Ron Paul. I want when we're singing... Just me bandmates. Hey, the rocker arm assembly. Well, the rocker arm assembly. We don't like dirt. That was an old mobile commercial.
I couldn't believe when the lead singer called me a tuning son of a bitch and pushed me out of his house. I couldn't believe it.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out my house.
My girlfriend and the retard were watching, and we were all just playing a ga.
And even the retard said it sounds like a #1 hit tune. Or that was the faggot.
The faggot was whispering through the whole movie.
The poofter was talking to the retard.
Yeah, we were just sitting around singing, eating meat that was a little loud and spoiled.
Dancing without using our hands.
Where's the Tourette's?
Ron Paul supporters. And that's what's happening, probably. They're being co-opted. These lunatic, these fringe crazies that are wouldn't even exist, only that they feel on par with this kind of smut that comes out of the Opie and Agony show. Think about the things they say. They had this one guy there, he wants to kill his wife, right? And the boys were saying, like,
I guess that would be any guy who's married.
Just masturbate and pretend you're choking the living shit out of her and stuff like that. Do what I do, right? It's so revolting, I can't even...
That's a damn... Why would you do that when you could just really choke her? Why pretend you're killing her when you could just kill her?
See, they don't want to go the extra mile.
Yeah, they want to pretend they're doing things instead of really living. You don't know what it's like until you're coming and someone breathes their last breath in your face.
Just choke the cunt.
Just choke her with a wire hanger. Give her the old Johnny-Ola as you're ejaculating into her shitting anus. They always shit when they're dying. It's the body getting rid of all the excrement. You don't know living until you put on a bad suit. That's why I have me windows blocked, so nobody can see them clawing for their lives.
Oh, wow. Pretend you're choking the living shit out of her and stuff like that. Do what I do, right? It's so revolting, I can't even repeat it. They should be locked up in a mental institution and be pumped up with some kind of drug for at least 10 years and then put them through school again and teach them to be part of society. They have no benefit to anybody out there, only evil people and hate. This is what they propagate. And they encourage their listeners to bash women and bash their children, basically, with the mentality that they put out that life is not precious. Life is not cool. You know, life is not worth living. It's this despicable look at ourselves is what it really is.
Oh, thank you.
And they make money off this, and they justify that as a distraction some way. They call that humor for some reason.
I make a few pounds.
That's the guys they put it on, like it's actually, like they're actually part of the human race. These people are not part of the human race. These are anti-human parasites who are feeding off the human race.
Pause. I make a 7-minute video that should probably be 1 minute and 15 seconds because I tend to be redundant and say the same words.
I should look into editing.
I should really pick up a thesaurus and see what a synonym for parasite might
Parasite.
be.
Maybe just go and call him a mosquito. They're like a bunch of mosquitoes.
These damn bed bugs.
They're like ticks. Or fleas or ticks or mosquitoes.
I keep saying the same bug over and over.
Whatever kind of blood-sucking creature you can think of. That's what they are.
Yeah, I probably should have cut this down to about 1 minute and 15 seconds. But I just got... Because what happens is I have a bunch of stuff written, but I panic, and I don't want to look down for too long. So I take a quick glance, and I realize I can't read my psychopath scribblings because I'm writing in child's blood.
So I say parasite again, and again, and again.
These are aliens, literally, figuratively. These
Literally,
are vultures,
figuratively.
okay? They're so vicious at this stage right now. They're coming after me because I'm in a wheelchair. That's incredible.
Pause.
That they...
Oh, boy.
He's in a wheelchair?
Oh, boy.
Oh.
We had no idea.
I had no idea.
Oh,
They didn't
boy.
know. Jim Norton doesn't know how brilliant his analogy from Sling Blade really was. I wish I'd have known you were in a wheelchair. I'd have done tipping you over jokes for 2 days now. You bag of shite. I had no idea your legs were as awful as your videos.
Hey,
Who knew he was in a wheelchair?
they're making fun of me turnip legs. Hey, my potato blight legs.
They're making fun of the fact I've been wearing the same pair of shoes since 1987. Not a scuff to be found.
Nary a scratch on the soles.
I had no idea. Like, I'm Perry Mason. I'm Perry Mason. Jim is now excited because he didn't know when he compared you to the Sling Blade guy that he was 100% spot on.
Why would he offer that up? Oh, that's not going to end good.
I'm trying to make myself look like a victim, but all I've done is added a lot of fodder onto the making fun of me. Nice legs, Dick.
People are begging for his Twitter, and I think we got it. At the end of this video. Go ahead, continue.
Stage right now, they're coming after me because I'm in a wheelchair. That's incredible. That they singled that out as a reason to attack me and a way to attack me.
No.
My goodness.
Spoken like a true psychopath. I attack them, they've never heard of me. They respond and I play the victim. I'm like every girl Jim Norton tries to fuck. That's what I do. I attack them, I go on the attack, I put up a video, and they'll respond. And what do? I'm in a wheelchair. My legs are no good.
Aye. My useless appendages. Along with me penis. Me penis is fucking useless.
Me in a way to attack me. My goodness, what kind of world do we live into when that's what they're grasping at? That's that straw that they grasp at.
No,
because
that straw
I'm in
is
a
your
hospital
spine.
bed for the last 12 years.
It's like a crazy straw, it is. Full of spinal fluid, flipping through it like a crazy straw. Like one of those bendable ones you put in a drink.
He was in a hospital bed for 12 years. Oh, boy.
12 years?
I don't care.
Why do you think?
In a hospital bed for 12 years?
Maybe spinal meningitis, some type of parasite.
Maybe victim of the war?
Which one?
I don't know.
The Falklands?
Let's find out.
It's because I'm in a hospital bed for the last 12 years because I worked for a fucking living. That's right. I worked for a living.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up in a hospital bed for over a decade in a wheelchair where I didn't go into.
And I guess I shouldn't have gone into the hospital bed testing business. That was my job. I was a hospital bed tester. And I wish I hadn't done that.
But I changed my job. Now I'm a wheelchair tester.
There's nothing more repulsive than somebody who goes on the attack and gets attacked back and then plays the victim. There's nothing more annoying than that. And if I think that by talking about my wheelchair, I'm going to stop them from making fun of me, oh, am I sadly mistaken? If I call them parasites, they're going to tease my twig legs.
Little bed for over a decade in a wheelchair where I didn't go into the bowels of hells like these guys. I went and educated myself and tried to make the world a little bit better.
What else were you going to do?
I try to still contribute to society.
All you contributed was what was in the bedpan.
They absolutely hate.
I said here, take this, give this out to the huddled masses, and it was my duty and my urine.
I was crapping in a pot, and the nurse came by, and I said, I'm producing something.
I hurt myself at work. I was the van driver in a child pornography ring, and I bumped into a curb looking at a young fella's buttocks.
Just trying to do some good.
He says we hate him. We don't even know you.
I had no idea he was in a wheelchair until because he's sitting in a chair.
We don't know you, sir.
But this to me, it's amazing how somebody will attack us that we've never heard of. We attack back, and this baby boy plays the victim. Like, what a jerk off.
There's no rules if you're attacking someone, right?
I don't care you're in a wheelchair. Go fuck yourself. I didn't attack you first. I never heard of you.
Yeah, we would have never known about you.
You didn't like what we said about Jesse Ventura. You put a boring video out. We smashed you. And now you're rubbing your little tears like you're a victim. We never heard of you. Go ahead.
They chucked my wheels. I couldn't move.
They cut farts in my face. All I could do is wave them. I couldn't even walk away.
All it takes is 4 black border racers, and I can't move.
And they hate me for that.
We don't.
They absolutely hate everything good. This is how they live.
And he's good.
Their darkness.
Yeah.
You know, they can't be good darkness and take a whole bunch of those lemmings and jump off a cliff. Maybe put that up on YouTube.
Cliff. I don't know what a cliff is.
Cliff.
No, they got to destroy everything good out there. And they go out and they create this tabloid effect. That's how they get their name out there. And they artificially inflate the views and the ratings and the comments
inflate
and
like my tires
and subscriptions. It's all right.
I wish other things like my pant legs could be artificially inflated to help me stand for a couple of minutes. But I do sound like the kind of guy who will show up with a rifle and a hunting hat.
Yes.
Everybody is relieved I'm in a wheelchair.
No kidding.
Because no matter how good a shot I am, I can't roll at them down the street.
How come no one I know will oil me wheels?
Yes, I always heard the squeaky wheels get the grease.
The ratings and the comments and the favorites and the subscriptions. It's all artificial. These guys are fake 100%. They're hoping someone will come along and rescue them and bring them into a real comedy act. It ain't never gonna happen.
Vaudeville.
Right? They live a disorganized life. They appeal to people that can't listen to a single voice. They have to have all this background noise in order for them to be able to focus in on little things, because they need all that distraction. They don't want their mind to fucking think about what the person is saying. They can just float off into the distractions. They come after me because I'm in a wheelchair, and you know nothing about why I'm in the wheelchair.
I just learned that today.
It's because I spent 128 days on the ocean as a commercial diver, 6 hours a day on the ocean floor.
I got the bends.
And I woke up in a wheelchair. You attack my mother constantly. That's pretty surprising.
Pause.
Whoa, okay, now he's really getting into
psychopath.
He's really getting into Looney Zone.
Oh, we got a psychopath.
They
Wonderful.
they talk to me when I'm not even listening to the radio.
Oh, boy.
I have to put tinfoil over me head.
Let the record state we don't know you, sir. We don't know anything about you.
They talk about me, mum.
I have...
Maybe that was a comment somebody made on one of your dumb videos, but we don't know shit about you.
Aye.
Whoa, we got a fucking psycho.
But again, this is why I just detest me. Oh, me legs. Oh, me diving. Oh, me victimization.
Yes, me legs, they were nibbled off by the Loch Ness Monster. I was a diver.
Well, he was a diver, yeah.
I was a diver. Aye.
Instantly. That's pretty surprising, is it? For you guys. I had to fly across Canada to take her off.
And my arms are killing me.
I'm a diver, and that's how I hurt my legs. There was no water in the pool. And I clunked my head in my bad suit jacket.
Well, you know, they found me actually in the middle of the burnt woods. The woods was all burnt. I was in me wetsuit laying there, and they found me, and I was paralysed. Apparently, a big plane against the water picked it up and threw me on the fucking fire.
Now we're here.
Now you're making fun of me mother and father and me aunt and Uncle Paul.
Now we're hearing he's from Canada.
Oh,
I thought we learned he was from Southern England. Where the fuck is this guy from?
No, he's from Canada. All his old videos are him with the Canadian flag behind him talking about being from Canada.
Someone's got a... Well, then I think we got the wrong Twitter account. Then.
The information you're getting is he had some artist on the front of his page that was from England, so they thought that was the guy who was doing all this stuff.
I could give a flying fuck where the hell this guy's from.
Yes.
We're giving him 20 different fucking accents. He's everything from a Liverpudlian to an Aussie.
Well, I just felt safer knowing he was in Southern England.
There I was.
Canada's a little closer.
Well, I was in a wheelchair. I don't know what happened.
You could take a bus from Canada.
The radiator's cracked at the core.
Guys, I had to fly across Canada to take her off life support, by the way, a couple of years back.
She wasn't on life support.
You think nothing of that. You think that's intelligent or something, or that's smart.
What?
I don't know how I think Opie and Anthony and Jim Norton know this about me, considering I'm an anonymous idiot from Canada. They've never heard of me, and yet I think they know the intimate details of my life. I'm a crazy fuck. I'm a self-obsessed fuck, and I think other people know all about me.
Yeah, like my mother. She was on the life support. I had to go up and disconnect it. I should have just called. Hey, could you pull the plug?
Logically, why would I think anybody knew that, considering they never heard of me until I attacked them? Oh, that's right. I'm a fucking whack job. And I'm a victim, like all whack. Me. I just like to say me. Everybody notices me. Sometimes the radiator says me name. Sometimes the president talks about me in his speeches.
Fuck. We didn't know you were in a wheelchair, and we didn't say shit about your mom.
I don't know. Or
and I don't care
about anything about this guy's
Holy
life.
Fuck.
You're not the only one. Self-centered.
All right, hit it. Almost done.
Man,
you
should take that Second Amendment you got, put that fucking gun in your mouth, and pull the triggers. And do the world a real big favor, because you're destroying people. That's what you do. You destroy everything.
That's the second bullet reference during this.
Exactly.
This is exactly what happens with crazy people. We go on rants before we commit murders. And we don't say we're going to commit a murder. We talk about suicide. And we use bullet-like analogies. Why don't you guys take the bullet train?
Although I did say that we're destroyers, much like Lou Grant called Opie, a destroyer.
I can't stand these guys, and yet I watch 9 hours of them. Why? Because I'm a sick fucking person.
Fucking obsessed.
It took him 9 hours to figure out what we're all about.
I got a wow sticker on my wheelchair.
Wouldn't 10 minutes do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 hours. That's sick. No one listens for 9 hours.
My legs were killing. Oh, wait.
Oh.
I had to get up and stretch my...
Oh.
That's what I keep looking down for, just to make sure they're not hanging all willy-nilly.
Looks like George's legs from Otto and George.
They're just swinging around. Me shoes are not even touching the carpet. I'm like the guy from Clockwork Orange. I hear Alex singing. I'm singing in the rain in the bathtub, and I go crazy.
You probably had to listen for 9 hours because someone turned it on for him and then left the house.
They put a stick in me spokes. I can't get up to the radio.
Who's Fred Scheckler?
Oh, fuck.
That's what you do. You destroy everything good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you teach people to hate everything good.
Aye.
You create violent extremists
Yeah.
that will go out and target people because of your electoral. You're anti-human fucking scum.
Wow, who does he look at the end of that?
Not the shoe salesman.
I hated Married with Children. It was just rubbing me nose in it.
He was making fun of me as what he was doing.
Yeah.
I see that. They measure people's fate for new shoes. Never me. They never ask.
When you're in a wheelchair, you're supposed to be able to say what you want about people without a harsh response.
Me.
And when they respond, you can just point out that you're in a wheelchair and be seen as a victim all over again.
Hi. You got one of his music videos?
Oh, please.
He said he had to make a music video just to relax a little bit.
I had legs. Now I can't use them. Jimmy spit his
Wow, that's funny.
Ow. These boots are made for rolling, and that's just what they'll do.
Nothing beats a great pair of legs. I guess a seat warmer.
I'm sitting. Yes, indeed, I'm sitting.
I want to communicate. Give me my city talkie.
Roll like a man, fast as you can. Roll like a man, my. Don't step on my blue suede, useless things. You can do anything, but don't step on my blue suede, useless things.
Oh, I hate that Pantera song. My favorite actor is Christopher Sitton.
I like that show, Roller Texas Ranger.
Oh, how about J.J. Sitter? He was my favorite. Jimmy Sitter.
Oh, man. I might as well sit here. I might as well sit here. Hey, rolling with the devil. Yes, I'm rolling. Rolling with the devil.
Whatever you do, stay away from sit around Sue.
'Cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to roll. Roll to the hills.
She told me to roll this way.
I roll like an Egyptian. I wish I could jump. I'm never gonna jump. Might as well just sit here.
Someone just writes Footloose, literally. Jane Huntington.
I got a brand new pair of roller skates, and they'll never get old.
You know REM? Stand.
I sit in the chair that you're in. Now face north. You roll around 90 degrees and still just sit here.
Darling, darling, sit by me.
Roll, roll, roll to Maloo. Roll, roll, roll to Maloo.
Oh, you watch people put their left legs in, take their left legs out. You eat a donut while they're doing the hokey pokey.
And he's buying a elevator to heaven. A little worried.
Oh, my God.
What about I would walk 500 miles?
Yes. I would roll 500 miles and I would roll 500 more, but my hands would hurt because I'm rolling. Get it?
Wow. That's something.
Look.
Oh, yeah. Because you're mine, I roll the line.
Sit by your man.
I'm rolling on sunshine. Oh, I'm rolling on sunshine.
Da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm rolling down a dream.
Band on the not going anywhere. Band on the not going anywhere.
I'm wheeling in the years. Oh yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah,
a lot of run and walk songs, huh?
And I didn't move. I didn't move so far away. I couldn't move.
Brian in Maryland, flop this way.
He told me to look this way. Look this way.
That's we didn't even know.
Nah,
we didn't even know he was going to
Until he said that.
And I'm glad he offered that up.
Yeah, thank you.
Because he ain't going away.
Well, yeah, let him stay around. Let him become as obsessed as he wants. I hate people that bash you and then get mad when you bash them back. We never heard of you, stupid.
Yeah.
No clue.
You attack us.
Until 2 days ago.
We make
3
fun of
days
you
ago.
and attack you back.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
What do you think we're going to do?
What a dolt.
Did we do legs?
Oh, God, that was the first one.
Yeah.
No,
That
but I
started
mean,
it off.
well, they're adding to it. He's got legs. You know he can't use them.
That was pretty much it.
All right. Then it brings it right back around.
Then I just spit my water out.